It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. Good morning, Omaha.
We're in the same room.
We're in the same room. Teleportation is a beautiful, beautiful thing. How could he be there and then here in such short periods of time? I'm wondering that myself. No crossover today, but if there was, it would have been brought to you by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Matt had to get out of here because he's going home to his mommy.
Holy Chicago!
There will be a crossover this afternoon, though.
Ooh.
And I believe John is doing the show.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess he's got nothing else to do
He
today.
doesn't have jack else to do.
Thanks, Creighton.
Oh, God. Yep. Shocking that once again, Vegas is turned into just a giant pile of pain for the Creighton Blue Jays. And it gets worse because they have to stay another day, play on Thursday, and it gets worse. They have to play Oregon. I don't know if that's better or worse. We were having that debate yesterday with a couple of people. Like, do they want to play a good team? Do they want to play a bad team?
You would have had to play San Diego State.
Well, yeah, both. If it was going to be one of those two, Oregon or San Diego State, it was always going to be pain. But the other two options were Rutgers and UNLV. And
Rutgers.
I thought, like, gosh, I don't know what the right opponent is for the Creighton Blue Jays right now. Like, maybe the right answer is play a decent team, play a team with a pulse, and find a way to win one.
Utah Tech has a pulse.
Utah Tech. Are they an option?
December 23rd?
December 23rd. Nichols?
Yeah, Nichols.
Does Nichols have a pulse?
Does Nichols have a pulse? Whole question?
I don't know. Yep. But here we are, back on a Wednesday. So this is going to be a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday show, all combined into one. So think about all of our bits, all of our segments. What happens on Wednesdays? We talk to Robin and Mitch. We'll do that at their regularly scheduled appearance times today. We will have I Have an Opinion. We will have Big Ten Power Rankings with Tiers, which is really just a look ahead at the slate and what's on the line in the Big Ten Conference. Thursday, what do we do on Thursday?
Grunt.
But our Thursday guests will get the week off, and our Friday guests will get the week off this week. And then our Friday show, keys. Actually, I don't have any keys. You guys know the keys.
We're keyless.
Yeah, you guys know the key. Yeah, we're
keyless entry.
We have digital keys. We have picks. We have a small history lesson, and we have Josh's hype speech for Nebraska and Iowa.
That's right.
Which is on Friday at 11 o'clock. And now my times make sense again. Thank you, Central Time Zone.
It's a good time zone, maybe the best.
John writes in on the text line.
Hi, John.
Did you have breakfast drinks again this morning like you did the past 3 days?
Don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about. I would never, and I did not.
This man is a water man.
For the record, I did not. Yes, you go back and you check the tape. You go back and look at the streams, and you will find me just sucking down water. Now, there's a reason. It's very dry in the desert.
Acrid.
Very, very dry. And so, you gotta really load up on the fluids, especially if you've imbibed like the night before or something like that. Or maybe you didn't get enough sleep or something like that.
Arid. I was thinking of arid. I'm sorry.
What did you say?
I said acrid.
What is acrid?
Acrid is having an irritatingly strong and unpleasant taste or smell.
Okay. Well, a little bit of that too, probably. Sindelar's here.
Alex.
Keys to the game or fobs to the game now. Now that's what actually we should turn that into.
That's a funny bit.
Fobs of the game. Everybody does keys.
Yeah.
How about fobs?
You got to set yourself apart from the other shows.
Brandon writes in on Twitter.
Hi, Brandon.
At Connor Happer on the JTech Constructions on Twitter feed. The bloodshot eyes gave away the hangover. Dude,
about?
You're an alcoholic. No. Means I was drunk yesterday. God, School of Rock is such a great movie. I don't know if we talked about that enough yesterday.
Probably not.
But here we are on a Wednesday. So Robin will join us at the end of the hour. Mitch Sherman at 11:30. That's the lineup powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. I want to hear from you all today. And plenty of time here in this 10 o'clock hour. 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Call or text that number. Tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor or Josh Show at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we have an open segment today because we didn't get any good stuff from John yesterday. So
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do? Come on, John, create us content.
He was
You slacking
right on the cusp. I could tell he was like, I gotta stay calm. I gotta be good
from
today.
the time the game ended, or from the time the game started to like actually during the game yesterday. I might have said like 40 words. It was just there's no analysis that I could provide.
Yeah,
that would add color to this.
Oh, they threw the ball out of bounds.
you guys pretty much get it. You guys pretty much get what's happening in this situation. And Creighton got blasted yesterday by tame and lipsyless Iowa State, and things are on the struggle bus for the Blue Jays. We will talk about them. What are they going to do? Are you on team trust the process, or is there just too much to overcome? I've seen some freakouts over the last couple days. Some people who are like, I'm so bleeping scared right now. What am I supposed to do? I'm not telling you to, don't jump off the cliff, obviously, but like we'll sort through it. We'll have a tiny baby history lesson. We can talk about Nebrasketball from last night. Taking down almighty Winthrop.
That's a good program.
Moving their nation-leading active win streak to 11 games in a row because they didn't make the Big Ten tournament and won the crown last year. You ready to learn about the crown, Josh?
I desperately fear that is coming.
No, I actually
staring
think
down the barrel
for the Schadenfreude, for the whole Creighton Nebraska thing, isn't one of the best possible results Creighton winning the crown.
Creighton winning the crown and Nebraska winning its first tournament game would be
great. Then nobody would say anything to anybody after that, because Creighton will have won a game in April and Nebraska would have won their tournament game. And Nebraska is going to be a decent sized favorite for the game where they play each other in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, maybe it just all goes away. The rivalry ends.
If everybody's talking points and everybody's narratives were destroyed in one fell swoop,
it could be the best possible thing to happen.
Yeah.
Then we could all live in peace and harmony. By the way, no crossover today, but a little Matt content for you.
Oh no. What's over there on your side of the board?
An open bottle of water.
That's dangerous.
Where do the caps go? I don't know why does he take the cap and not the water? And then a white monster. So he's listening in his car right now, I'm sure on his way to the airport or on his way home to get his stuff or wherever he's going. And just so you know, Matt, like you left everything again.
He had a long day yesterday.
Everything.
He had to sit and watch that game like Clockwork Orange style. They held his eyelids open as he watched Millard South trounce Papio South and then do literally nothing in the second half.
Oh yeah. I was just barely following along. Thank you for reminding me of that. Congratulations to Millard South.
Yes.
They won't get the love that they deserve.
And
being one of the greatest teams of all time.
Congratulations to the house for always winning, as Millard South decided
not
to do anything in the second half.
Why are we talking so much about high school betting lines?
I don't know. It's funny.
To some, it might be funny. To some others, it might not be that funny.
That's true.
It might not be.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Jasker Todd writes in.
Hi, Jasker Todd.
If it was fobs of the game, Matt would be late or need a ride to the segment. Alex and Lincoln says, I was concerned Millard South might not win going into the game. What would precipitate those events?
a terrible accident before the game?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think that was really in the cards yesterday. Well, people were concerned about the wind. Like, what happens if Millard South isn't able to pass it? Well, the quarterback threw for 7 touchdowns, didn't he?
In the first half.
Yeah.
He did throw a pick, though, so.
Could you imagine?
Kalen was on the phone like, hey, I don't know if this is going to work, buddy.
Could you imagine? Speaking of the wind, just so you guys are well aware, just word of advice.
Oh, okay.
If you are a passenger on a commercial airplane or non-commercial airplane,
sure,
it's going to be uncomfortable when the plane attempts to land with a 50-mile-an-hour straight line wind.
Goo.
And the captain was really good. He was like, hey, look, man, I'm gonna tell you how it is. Here's how it goes. So we were starting our descent into Omaha last night on the sad Creighton plane. I mean, you should have seen the sad Creighton plane. It was
everyone put on your saddest quarters.
If you were a Nebraska fan like Covert on the flight that left at 5:45 from Vegas last night, you would have been like, this is the best thing that I've ever experienced, because there weren't a lot of words and it was a lot of blue and it was just sadness that we're heading home, but a twinge of happiness because they got to leave and there are some other people that are staying, including the team. And so, we get up and we're starting our descent down into Omaha. The plane's Wi-Fi is spotty, and I'm like, this is just a nightmare. Just please get me on the ground. Captain comes over. He goes, all right, starting our descent here in Omaha. So here's what we got. We got big puffy clouds. We got winds that are consistently in like the 30s and they're gusting up to like 60. And they just experienced this, Omaha just experienced winter right yesterday for the first time. Winter just appeared, right? Apparently it was nice over the last couple of days, wasn't it? It was like in the 60s.
Yeah, the weekend was very nice.
The weekend was nice, and so winter
gradually getting colder this week.
And so he goes, we don't need, although we are, kind of professional meteorologists, we don't need a professional meteorologist to tell us that it's going to be, and he said, and I quote, a little bumpy on the way down, or I believe it was pretty bumpy. He put emphasis on pretty bumpy. I'm like, all right, here we go. And it was rocky at the end of the flight last night. But saw the captain on the way out. I said, Captain, great job. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very much. You got us on the ground safely. And the plane gets on the ground, and I felt like the plane was going to blow over. We were on the ground. I was like, the danger is not ended.
We received comment from Matt McMaster.
Good.
Damn it. God dang it. WTF. Frick with a lot of Ks.
What? But
he's just caught wind of the things he left in the studio.
But why is he reacting that way? This is just a standard.
He's very hard on himself. He wants to be better.
Matt, where's the cap? Where is the cap? Where is the cap?
No cap.
Okay. So there's your update. Thank you for commenting into the show, Matt McMaster. We appreciate it. Colin writes in, Colin in White Plains.
Hi, Colin.
On the Equitable Bank inbox. Don't put it on the internet that Connor was sucking down gin and juices in Vegas. Do not put that on the internet. Not true. Definitely not true.
Not true. So you were?
No, there was no gin and juices for me. No gin and juices. All right, like I said, Robin will join us at the end of the hour. Big Ten Power Rankings with Tiers, where you take a look at what's on the line. So many things on the line this week in the conference and nationally.
Oh,
A
really?
lot of pride. Bill eligibility for two particular teams who just so happen to be playing each other. A bucket, a hat, and various other things in between. Also, get in your opinions for I have an opinion coming up at noon. today. Pedro writes in.
Hello, Pedro. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Hi, guys. Connor, was there any chance of the plane flying upside down last night? I was waiting for the captain to say, we're going to roll it. We're going to roll it.
Was your captain sucking on gin and juices?
I don't believe so. I don't think a man under the influence would have been able to put down that plane like that in those conditions last night.
Okay.
Nope. I don't think so. I do not think so.
I have received a text from my wife.
Thanking
the captain. Classy move.
I know. I felt really cool. I said, great job.
Great job.
He goes, thanks.
Because you do kind of have to like acknowledge what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like, hey, even if you know what's happening, like I have to tell you what's about to happen.
I don't know.
My job.
I don't know if it was
it's unpleasant.
I couldn't tell if there was any clapping upon the wheels hitting the ground, but I assume there was because I had my headphones in, just like blaring it. So yep, that was the situation. Chris writes in.
Hi, Chris.
Is today the first day without football in the last month? Yeah. I think so.
No football games today.
No football game. No football.
But yeah, I guess
luckily the Players Era Invitational rages on. We got to talk a little about the Players Era.
There were takes last night.
What were the takes?
Not the first night. There weren't any takes about it the first night. The second night, everybody had takes about it.
What were the takes? Can you give me a little rundown on what the takes for the Players Era?
The takes, there were one of two major takes.
Okay.
This is the NBA Cup for college basketball, where it's sort of forced, but it feels bigger than a regular season game. Nobody understands how it works.
See, that's what they got to figure out.
Yeah.
They have to make it an actual tournament.
Yeah. I know you want to guarantee everybody X amount of games so it's worth their while to make the trip and come, but like you got to bracket this somehow.
Well, so I think they're gonna. I don't know if there's more teams coming in next year. I think there's maybe even they're adding I don't even know what we're at in terms of a total right now.
I have no idea. 18.
It's 2 different locations, and then they want to make sure there's no rematches.
Mm-hmm.
They want to make sure there's no conference games because you already have that data point. So you want to help the teams who have come to your tournament build resumes for the NCAA tournament, and it doesn't do Creighton any good to play St. John's 3 times this year. It doesn't do, Now, there are certain teams who have come into the field this year who are getting a little bit of a sweetheart deal, I think. Kansas.
Mm.
Kansas is a nationally relevant program and was not in the Players Era Championship last year, is this year. Who'd they get? Syracuse and Notre Dame, and they get opportunities to.
And they're playing in the 7th place game today.
That's right. There's the point differential.
They won all their games and are playing for 7th place.
I listened to a little bit of Josh and Schaefer yesterday, trying to figure out, or Josh and Joey trying to figure out like what the scenario was going to be. Mm-hmm. We had figured out a couple hours before that Creighton is guaranteed to be in the bottom 4 because not only are they 0-2, but they can't be any better than only one team on the point differential, because you could lose by 40 and they cap the differential at 20.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you could lose by 40 and 10, and your point differential is minus 30.
Okay.
Even though it should be 50,
mm-hmm.
right? And so because of that, Creighton got the worst possible deal, which was losing, not deal. They made the worst possible soup out of their ingredients, which was basically losing 2 games by 15,
Yeah.
Right? Either get absolutely
they got no break. Yeah.
Get smashed, get smashed once and maybe win a game or something like that. But
is 50-20?
It is most certainly not. It is most certainly not.
And the second take everybody had about the Players Era was, this is ruining the sport.
Now, why is that?
Because
Maui is dead.
Because Maui is dead, and all the other Feast Week festivities are dead because there's a whole bunch of cash on the table for this one.
Well, I would say if you ignore the cash part, like that's always the thing that gets people fired up. It's like, oh, they're just taking the money. And there's no doubt it's advantageous, especially to a program like Creighton, who, to be in this thing. And they made a ballsy move a couple years ago when they burnt the bridge with Battle for Atlantis, and just to go to the Players Era thing. And you're chasing the money in that regard. But I don't think you have to view it that way. Now I was there, but I get
I've watched more basketball this week at the Players Era, that non-Creighton games.
I'm not trying
than I would have at any other circumstance.
I'm not trying to be a Players Era honk, but it is so cool being there. It feels like the round of 32.
You're going to get an absolute banger between Michigan and Gonzaga.
Dude, I went to Alabama and Gonzaga inside of a 3,000 seat arena on whatever night, Monday night. I mean, that was a great game. Two excellent teams just getting up and down, back and forth. By the way, Gonzaga is, oh baby,
they might be one of the 3-5 best teams in the country.
Gonzaga is so good,
and that's not
just Creighton.
Yeah, that's not that's why Creighton completely independent of Creighton. Gonzaga is one of the best teams in the country.
So what if you just combined Maui and Battle for Atlantis and, you're basically just taking all the best teams, all the blue bloods from all these other tournaments where they play around Thanksgiving and Feast Week, and you're putting them in one. And it's easy to see the vision. So I wouldn't view it like, oh, it's killing all these other tournaments, and so that makes it bad. I would view it as, we have an awesome mid-season tournament that the only time you get games like Gonzaga, Alabama, or, we saw Michigan State and Duke and Kentucky do that thing a couple of weeks ago or last weekend at the Madison Square Garden. That's the only time you get that, the one-off games, or the one that's on an aircraft carrier or something like that. Why not play it all in Vegas and have everybody sort of involved? I mean, it was incredible just walking around the hotel, because most of the teams all stayed in one place, and just walking around the hotel, and it was the who's who of college basketball. I mean, Rick Pitino's at the Starbucks holding court in the morning, talking to people. Were walking through the lobby and the casino of the hotel, and stopping whoever they saw, taking selfies with them, and then moving on to the next person. Bill Self just walking aimlessly around a casino. Dana Altman walking aimlessly. He was around less, but they like to. What else is there to do when you're in Vegas, aside from playing the basketball game, which only takes up 3 hours of your time? You got a whole bunch of other stuff going on, like film and walkthroughs and stuff like that. But there's a lot of downtime, and you just kind of walk around. So it's kind of like it's the hub of college basketball. That's how I would look at it. I thought it was really, really cool, just as a, like I said, a central hub for college basketball. And if you're, and I guess I say this from the honking perspective of, if you are Creighton, you are so happy to be in it, because if you're not in it, then you're wondering, how do I get in it?
It's been
Seton Hall. I thought there was a second where I thought Seton Hall was going to win Maui yesterday. They about beat USC, and then they would have played Arizona State, I think, in the final. Seton Hall, the second worst team in the Big East, and they're going to win Maui this year. I don't know.
It's been disastrous for Creighton in Vegas the last couple of years, but you can't not. You have to be a part of this if you can be a part of this, even if you're getting rocked when you go.
I mean, I thought it was real, and I think it'll only continue to be a better event from, I think I've heard good things from an organizational perspective. The only rub is, obviously, it's very, very difficult after the first two games, if you're doing it, round robin pod style, like they've done it, because you don't know who you're playing on the third day or when you're playing after the second day until 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. And then you have to kind of have to, scramble after that. But the first 2 days of that event, wall-to-wall basketball at two locations, from 11 a.m. in the morning until, I think there was that first night, San Diego, because there was a game after Gonzaga, Alabama. It was San Diego State and somebody, right? They started at 11 p.m. Pacific. or something like that.
I think there was a 10 o'clock tip, maybe even 11 o'clock tip here locally.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, whatever it
days.
was after that. So I think it's really cool, and I don't think you have to view it through the lens of like this is a bad thing for college basketball and everybody's just taking the money. Why not have one centrally located, awesome? It kind of is an in-season tournament in a way, like it is kind of like the NBA Cup. But I think it's pretty cool.
Nobody knows how the NBA Cup works. Point differential matters.
Right.
I think the NBA Cup is a good comp, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of convoluted.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter, but it feels like it matters more than a bye game.
Once you know how many teams are going to be in the tournament, then you can get to work on figuring out, all right, let's make this a tournament.
Yeah.
Let's make this so we're not dealing with point differentials and stuff like that. So like at a regular tournament, you have your regularly scheduled first game, and then your second game you get no matter what, and you play whoever's won the first day if you won, or whoever's lost the first day. And then there's a consolation third game. You could do it that way. Mm-hmm. But you are mixing around sites and all those other things. So it does get a little bit tricky. Matt Chicago has a couple texts. This is Matt McMaster? I don't think so.
Okay.
Matt in Chicago.
We have a Chicago Matt listening. Okay, hi Chicago Matt.
Says, I thank God Marquette isn't in Vegas. Are you saying that from the perspective of a Marquette fan? Like, thank God they're not there?
This person has talked to us during last basketball season, if I remember correctly.
Okay. No reason to do MTEs anymore, in my opinion. Just schedule out of conference hard to get the Q1 games. Yeah, but then you can get a good home and home, like that's great, but those got to be scheduled in advance, and
you kind of have to do a little bit of forecasting.
You're at the mercy of what you're gonna get. So like you want to guarantee yourself some really difficult opponents in a neutral court environment, which is advantageous for both teams.
That's true. The neutral court, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's I disagree. I think the in-season tournaments, the feast week thing is like part of the soul of college basketball, and that is it. I mean, you might look at it, the players era is soulless, but it is what it's been. It's just bigger, and all the major teams. So
I think that's a fair take to call it soulless. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
From the 402.
Hi, 402.
Speaking of Maui, can we talk about how stupid it was that Seton Hall couldn't challenge last night when the ball went clearly off of USC? Yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out. Okay. So Shaheen Holloway doesn't have a timeout last night, so he can't challenge on a play that was obvious. So you just have to this is gonna be a thing. You have to keep these timeouts, at least one, in your back pocket, just to be able to challenge,
just in case.
I don't know why you wouldn't just do like, hey, you could have a challenge one for free in the last 4 minutes or last 2 minutes or something like that. Brian says not knowing who, when, or where you're playing until 11 p.m. the night before is not difficult at all. Signed every select sport parent in the Midwest. It's what we do every weekend. Yeah, it is a little AAU basketball, no doubt.
I don't need people coming up to me all week on, do you know when Creighton plays it? Do you know when Creighton plays it? Yeah, I do, and I've been keeping it from you because I'm a monster.
Josh kept texting us because Mr. Planner was. He was on one.
He was more involved in this than I was.
He's like, let me know, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna. I mean,
there will be a tweet.
We figured it out. We figured it out probably about an hour after Creighton ended yesterday. Like, it's gonna be Thursday, almost for sure. There's no way, because they were the second worst team in point differential. They were only better than Rutgers.
That was sort of the thing I was working off of all week was, okay, if they lose both, they're probably playing Thursday.
Yeah. All right. We are off and running.
And they will, by the way. I don't know if we specifically said that. Creighton, they will be playing tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 12:30 pregame with John Bishop.
Creighton and Oregon.
Yeah.
Creighton and Oregon.
Yikes.
Yeah. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Time. There will be no shoot around. There will just be John Bishop pregame show starting at 12:30, and John's interviews with players and Mac afterwards, and then no overtime as well. I believe we'll have an NFL game coming up after that.
I believe we're going to try and get you back to the football as quick as possible.
Okay, there you go. There's your Thanksgiving. But thanks for spending the day before with us. We are off and running on a packed Wednesday show here on 1620 The Zone. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't really answer.
Have you seen any articles from CBS Sports over the last 2 days?
I've seen an article from Chris Hummer.
Yes.
And I giggled.
That's this one.
Oh, okay.
And then there was another CBS Sports article that was interesting and odd as well.
A second CBS Sports story has hit the timeline.
Here is the headline of this one. Okay. Nebraska preparing for possibility. QB Dylan Raiola enters transfer portal.
Oh.
Hey, if he enters the portal, will you guys stop being mad at me for calling him Dylan?
Oh.
Would you take that trade?
Great question.
All right.
Oh, no, because they'll say that's why he hit the portal, because we made fun of him.
Nebraska is again wondering about the future of its starting quarterback, Dylan Raiola. The Huskers held on to Raiola last offseason after his camp had informal conversations with other programs about potentially entering the transfer portal. There is a sense in Lincoln that this offseason may be different, as Nebraska is bracing for Raiola to explore leaving. Sources tell CBS Sports. Raiola has not played since November 1st after breaking his fibula. His younger brother, Dayton, decommitted from the class last week, sending the rumor mill into action. Dominic Raiola, father of Dylan and Dayton and former All-American at Nebraska, declined to comment when reached about this story and Dylan's future. Dylan, a former five-star recruit and one of the program's biggest signing splashes in its history, made about $3.5 million this season. He is Nebraska's highest-paid player. That intake also puts him near the top of all college football players. Any transfer decisions would not be about money. Nebraska is expected to increase its total NIL rev share payout next season, sources say, and will spend heavily in the coming weeks to keep the vital roster pieces intact this offseason, and would instead, for both parties, offer a blank slate as Raiola enters his potential final year of college football with the NFL draft, a potential college football playoff appearance on his mind. Raiola threw for 2,000 yards and 18 touchdowns and 6 picks in his 10 games in 2025. Many dominoes remain in the 2026 transfer portal market, and there's no guarantee Dylan would choose to leave or even find a better spot elsewhere. A fractured fibula would not imperil Raiola's chances of beginning the 2026 season on time. Last offseason, Carson Beck transferred from Georgia to Miami and warranted a nearly $4 million price tag despite a torn UCL on his elbow. November and December is a common time for contract leverage in this era of college athletics. Players are being shopped across the country, but Raiola's situation is considered tenuous after Dayton's decision to open his recruitment, and with knowledge that Raiola's camp mulled transferring last season. In an interview earlier this year, Dominic denied that Dylan ever gave any real consideration to leaving the program last winter, but there were trial balloons sent out, and Coach Matt Rule did sit down with his then freshman quarterback in the days leading up to the portal's opening to make sure that they were on the same page. Quote, Rule said in September, I just had one authentic and long conversation with Dylan, and he made the decision. Then I said, okay, let's go out and get the players that you want and that I want in order to be the team we want to be moving forward. Then Nebraska, of course, went heavy in the portal last season. There's a little bit about TJ Lateef in here. The portal does not officially open until January 2, but that will not slow news of expected entries and backroom negotiations across the country. They've already started and will only pick up once most teams conclude their season this weekend. Well, if last season was a trial balloon and most of that went under the radar, although we talked about it a little bit on this show, we're shopping, we're throwing out trial balloons. Then what is this? Is this like a trial hot air balloon? This is a blowhorn to tell all the other people in the country, please come get me.
Yeah, this is
dear God.
Hey, Nebraska fans, you have 6 weeks to get okay with this.
For a message from who though? What this sounds like to me is a message from the Raiola camp that says, I will listen.
wow me.
I will listen. I like,
yeah.
There are some situations there are some things that I wish that were better here. Maybe I need a fresh start.
That would be the main message. Yes.
He basically, in this article, if it wasn't already out there before, which I think, we talked about it when Dayton decommitted, obvious to connect those dots. But he basically changed his LinkedIn status to open for work. That doesn't mean that he can't come back to Nebraska. I don't even know how many people want that at this point. I guess I'm not sure where we landed on the whole Tiffy thing. But
we had a good one, we had a bad one. I don't know. We're still
But are people just saying at this point, yeah, maybe maybe it is best if somebody else comes in and wows him and makes him gets him into the transfer portal, enters the transfer portal, and then we could both sort of be on our way. Dylan can get what he wants. Nebraska can get a blank slate at the position, or a blanker slate at the position. And Nebraska then is not they don't feel like they're trying to. I mean, this was the danger of last year, right? If he's throwing out trial balloons last year, which he was, it was like Miami and Texas A&M. I think we're kicking the tires or whatever it was last year, and then from there, like I said, they went out and got guys in the portal, and it was like, are we doing this? Are we changing our timeline? Are we changing our trajectory? Are we changing some of the principles of what we're trying to be here just to keep him here? And if this big fat trial balloon's already out there this year, like, there's no turning back on that now. It's either you're trying to impress him to keep him here, whether it be with NIL money or with roster additions and listen to the Raiola's input, or you're saying, okay, well, go ahead.
We wish you well in your future endeavors.
Yeah. I wonder what the options would be for him. But yeah, this is like I said, this is a bit of a hello. I am available. Anybody can, because we all know this is going to be decided. I mean, he's not even playing right now. He doesn't have a game to prepare for on Friday. This is going to be decided far before the transfer portal opens in a month.
He's not going to have to wander through the portal hoping someone, well, I'm here. I hope somebody picks me up.
And there is a quarterback carousel, much like there is a head coaching carousel. So jobs will be open and then jobs will fill, much like a recruiting class, right? And I would imagine that quarterbacks would want to know if and where they are starting next season. And the only way to kind of guarantee that is to make a decision quick, right? So I don't know. I don't know anything about their intentions or what it is, but it really, really, really feels like the writing's on the wall here.
If Dayton decommitting wasn't enough, this feels like it's fully cemented at this point.
Well, we can talk about that more as we go on throughout the show today. I want to hear your thoughts. 402-951-1620. But let's step off and get to Robin Washut from Husker Online coming up next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, a word from our friends at Underdog Fantasy, where, yes, fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get on all the action. You can make picks and win money right now in Nebraska. Feast Week is back on Underdog now through November 30th. You can check the app daily for special promos on Underdog. Always great opportunities for you to get in on the action. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get the picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. We have a wide open slate in basketball, coming up this week, so make sure you get on Underdog and check out all that is available for you. Download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code HAPPER1620 on Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present. Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms _DFS_.html for details. Get served with your play call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Robin Washut, Husker Online, The Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
You know, yesterday or a couple days ago, I mentioned that Nebraska Winthrop was the Dubio KK game. I didn't know Doobie was going to be there last night. Was Robin Washut joins us now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Robin, yeah, did Doobie get honored at halftime, or did they make him do the half-court shot or something? How was Doobie?
No, unfortunately, he wasn't even recognized in an official capacity, but I saw him, and, you know, he had his beanie on, so I had to do a double take, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's Doobie, okay, Kay? And I put 2 and 2 together, asked around, and boom, wouldn't you know it, one of the most impressive dunkers in Nebraska basketball history, and shot blockers too.
Yes, and foulers
back in the house to watch both of his former teams go at it.
One of the most hilarious free throw shooters in Nebraska basketball history as well. It had side spin on it like a gyro ball. So I always liked Doobie though.
He was good. He was good within 2 feet of the basket. But other than that, it's a little dicey.
Sad he wasn't recognized last night. Was he visibly happy when Nebraska won? Was he sad or what?
No, he was there wearing his Husker letter jacket, and obviously he was hoping for a competitive game, and he certainly got that. So kind of a best of both worlds, where his first school played well, had a chance, and can build some positivity. Where his second school won the game that they needed to win and kept their season rolling.
So can you boil? Is it as easy as? By the way, Nebraska won 80-73 last night over Winthrop at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Can you boil the choppiness down to simply no Bear K? Because that's basically what I what I saw as sort of a recap from how I was following it last night. Is it that easy, or what was it for Nebraska basketball last night that didn't make it look pretty?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. Certainly, you didn't have Bear K, you didn't have Leo Curtis, you didn't have Ugi or Sevicius, and so they were down to pretty much bare bones after Rink Mast with their post depth against Winthrop team that was crashing the boards pretty heavily, and then also they shoot a lot of threes, and so there's a lot of long rebounds, and so that added to a whole bunch of extra possessions for Winthrop that kind of helped them keep the flow of the game under control. It seemed like every time Nebraska looked like they were starting to get some separation, Winthrop was able to make a play, and a lot of that came down to just being really physical. And so missing Bear K is a big deal. I know people knock him all the time because he can do some klutzy things on offense, and we're just 0 for 5 from 3-point range against Kansas State. I get all that, but defensively, there's not a more important player on that roster. He's their best post defender. He's their best defensive rebounder. He's probably their most versatile defender that can play multiple positions, guard multiple positions. And so not having that was pretty significant, especially with the lack of depth already before his absence, and then just how much that put on Rink to have to really make up for that. And Winthrop was throwing hockey line substitutions at him. They played 11 guys in the first 9 minutes and just kept throwing fresh body after fresh body at Rink. And they didn't want Rink to play 33 minutes by any stretch. This was supposed to be a game where he's staying under 30, and Nebraska's got a comfortable lead to pull him down the stretch, but they didn't have that luxury. They had to play him in order to win the game. So, I think it was certainly Bear K's absence was notable, but also chalk it up to Winthrop being pretty darn good. I mean, that's a team that should have beat Arkansas, and they're full of seniors, including their center, the crazy 51 guy that tried to fight the female ref during the game. He's was recruited by Indiana out of high school, and then their guard, their leading scorer, was on that Duquesne team that went to the NCAA tournament and
won a game.
Nebraska all it could handle and scored 16 points in Pinnacle Bank Arena 2 years ago. So, that Winthrop's good. They're a 100 team. And I think that's one of those games that you look back on and say, hey, that was a pretty good win for Nebraska, even though it was choppy and Nebraska had to work down to the wire to do it.
Frager took the spot of Bear K in the lineup, and it just feels like he as a freshman, really trying to establish that role. I mean, he is the versatile type of playmaking, swing wing guy that they really have needed. I feel like over the last couple of years. What do you think he develops into as this year goes along? Is he going to be like a primary option for them as we go down the stretch here?
Yeah, I mean, you saw him. He got the start in place of Bear K, and he's going to be one of their first guys off the bench, regardless, all season long. Just because, as you mentioned, of what he brings physically. He's by far the bounciest guy they have on the team. He's 6'7", he's strong, and he's willing. He's one of those guys that's not afraid to get scrappy and dive for loose balls and do a physical box out to clear out a rebound and those types of things. So they need all of that they can get just because of their physical limitations. with this roster. So yeah, Braden's going to continue to play extensive minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another start or two, as the types of opponents start to progress as the season go. And so it was good to see him. I mean, he didn't shoot that well, but I think he did a lot of things. And specifically when Nebraska was just kind of settling and jacking up threes and, there really wasn't any flow to the offense, he was the one guy putting his head down and getting to the rim. Even when he wasn't scoring, he was getting the ball in the paint. And when they do that, that creates so many more options for them offensively, as opposed to just swinging around the 3-point line, hoping to get a semi-contested shot. When you got guys like Braden, using their physicality, getting the ball to the paint and either scoring or kicking out for a, higher percentage look, that's kind of what this offense is all about. So, he didn't shoot it all that well. He had 11 points, but he did a lot of little things that really point to the growth that he's made over the last year with that redshirt year, and just his understanding of what his role needs to be for this team to thrive.
All right, call your shot, Robin. When does the nation's longest active win streak end?
Well, I would hope they get through South Carolina upstate.
I think so.
Really easily on Saturday.
Give them 12.
So I'm going to push it to 12. And then right now,
they're better than Creighton right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a decent shot against Creighton. I think Ken Palm has like a 70% chance, but that's like one of those games where Creighton's been better than Nebraska, and Nebraska goes into Omaha and beats them. Nebraska's been better than Creighton in previous years, and Creighton comes in and just rolls them. So I don't put too much stock into that because of the kind of unique variables that rivalry has, where for whatever reason the road team seems to play well above their heads and make things more interesting than some people might think. But I do think if healthy, that's a big thing. They need Berke back. You need Leo Curtis back just to take some of that pressure off rink and give them some more post options. Because you see when Creighton struggles, it's the teams that rebound, and when the teams that are aggressive on the board. So we can get a full game breakdown in a couple weeks here. But I think that if they can get through Creighton, obviously the next one would probably be with the two Big Ten games.
Yep, Wisconsin and Illinois.
I think they can beat Wisconsin.
Yeah,
especially at home. Illinois, it's not getting any further than Illinois. I'll just say that. I think they've got a shot against Creighton. They got a shot against Wisconsin. Illinois is going to be a completely different animal. They're really good.
3.5 more weeks of bliss for Nebraska basketball. You're like the groundhog predicting this. 6 more weeks of winter, except for in this case, 3.5 more weeks of wins for Nebraska basketball.
No, we'll see. One game at a time.
All right, Rob, we got to cut it a little short today. Apologize for getting to you a little bit late, but thanks for joining as always. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we will talk to you soon.
You too. See you later.
Rob Washut from HuskerOnline.com. USC Upstate on Saturday for Nebrasketball, and then a whole week off before the Blue Jays make the trip down I-80.
That'll be interesting.
Is that your take officially on the game?
That's my official take right now.
I don't know what's going to happen for Creighton between now and then. They play Oregon tomorrow, and then one tune-up game with Nichols. The two's a week from yesterday, and then it is Nebraska. I mean, the Nebraska fans will be bloodthirsty.
Mm-hmm. I imagine a lot of words will be said before the game.
Maybe there will be some words. Yeah. We'll see what type of shape the Jays are in coming back from their trip from Vegas. All right, we'll be back 11 o'clock hour. Let's jump into the Big Ten slate for this week and take a look at what's on the line. I always feel bad during this week because we never end up talking about Michigan, Ohio State at all because it's on Friday. We don't have shows on Thursday and Friday, and so we don't get the full week of preview to think about it. So let's spend a little bit of time on what's coming up this weekend when we return. Mitch Sherman will join us at the bottom of the hour. Also, don't forget to get your opinions in for I Have an Opinion coming up at noon. We'll be back. More to come on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I have an opinion coming up at noon today. I know you guys have opinions. Maybe you have opinions on the Players Era Championship. Maybe you have opinions on the college football playoff. Maybe you have opinions on Dylan Raiola.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Maybe it's something that everybody's going to be talking about on the radio today.
Yeah. With John going viral and all this stuff happening, we haven't really had a chance to do our usual, is turkey a good meat?
On Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
For the world. The whole world.
I mean, people are like, oh, why would you eat turkey when you could just have other good meat?
You can have anything you want.
Like, of course you can. Yeah. But it's Turkey Day.
Although last night I went to Arby's to get the gobbler, and they were out. I was very
that would have been your second gobbler, Josh.
It would have. A second gobbler was supposed to hit my belly.
Which means you at least liked the first gobbler a little bit.
I did. I liked it, and it was a sandwich where I thought about it afterwards for days. I was like, wow, that was unique and interesting. I want that again.
John emails in.
Hi, John.
Okay. Well, this is an opinion. I guess we'll save that.
Okay.
Well, it's a sports opinion, so let's just read it. I have an opinion. After the CBS Sports article today, as a Nebraska fan, I never wanted Raiola to come here. He was overrated, and Nebraska will be better off without him. But if he is still on the team at the end of January, also as a Nebraska fan, I deserve the right to deny that I ever had this opinion.
That's right. Going to get a lot of that.
You play the cards as they're dealt to you, my friend. I mean, I got to say, at this stage in the game, I might be surprised if he was here. I don't know anything, but just reading the tea leaves and the writing on the wall, it feels like we're at the point of no return.
It makes a lot of sense, right? The report doesn't necessarily shock you, right? Like,
no, I mean it's some of that report that we read earlier was connecting dots, and some of it wasn't. Yeah. Like if he's already floating out trial balloons, I would wonder, and I think I brought this question up late last week before the Penn State game. Like, what does Nebraska want? Like if he said,
we'll never know.
I don't know. If he's throwing out trial balloons, and the message to Nebraska is, okay, make me not an offer I can't refuse, but make me believe that this is a situation where we could get to the playoff next year, or I could become a first-round draft pick, or whatever the end goal is. And what if Matt Rule's response to that is, no, we're not doing it for you. If we do it, we're not going to do it for you. We're going to do it for Nebraska. And I don't know if those interests, maybe they overlap a little bit, or maybe they don't, or, different thoughts coming from different sides. But I don't know. Would Matt Rule, if Dylan Raiola or the Raiolas were like, hey, you're going to need to really wow me for the second straight offseason, is Matt Rule and company going to say, okay, I guess we'll do our best? Or are they just going to say, yeah, I mean, we're going to make our team better because that's the goal every offseason, but it ain't for you. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to make you, we cannot cater to making you happy all the time. I think they spent a lot of time doing that over the last year, and I don't know that that's necessarily treated the program particularly well. They went out and got transfer portal guys last offseason, but they spent a lot of time this year talking about Dylan and how, if the offense was bad, it wasn't Dylan's fault. It's not Dylan's fault. Yes, they can. Hold on. Josh, give me a little. Oh, sorry. You're doing something.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. It's not his fault. He's good. He's definitely not the problem. Right. So you have to say that stuff when you're constantly worried about him and his status with the team. What if you were just not worried about it anymore and you just treated your quarterback like a normal person?
That would be something.
That is an option on the table.
Mm-hmm.
It is an option that's on the table.
Maybe they've seen your comments about the Raiola crime family. And
you think
they said, you know what? Maybe they are. That's not fair.
From John.
Hi, John.
By the way, wait a minute. I thought Arby's had the meats.
Yeah, you're telling me, John. I didn't see any signage for it, and I was like, well, maybe if I just ask for it, they'll have it. But I was in line before that, and I looked on the app. Like, okay, can I order it on the app? Maybe I zig out of this line and get on the app. That it said temporarily unavailable. They didn't have the gobbler.
So you had to do it old school?
I had to get something else, yeah.
No. Here's Brian.
Hi, Brian.
I know we've danced around this, but if Emmett does not enter the draft, is there a world where he returns to Nebraska without Dylan? Yeah. I don't know what Emmett's thinking. I mean, he's probably thinking, Emmett, I got a chance to start my pro career. Like, my stock's probably never been higher.
I'll tell you what he's thinking. He's probably thinking, why am I not a Doak Walker finalist?
He's always seemed like a college running back to me, and I think he likes it. I think and I think Nebraska would put together a nice little, off-season hype campaign for him. So yeah, I don't know this for sure, but I don't think Dylan's presence has an impact on Emmett as far as whether he stays or goes or whatever the options are for Emmett. I don't think those two are tangled up in the same thing. I mean, they're good friends and whatever, but business is business, I suppose. All right, we got 2 calls that we'll get to before we do Big Ten Power Rankings with tiers. Here is let's do Jason on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Jason, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Dylan Raiola, if I'm not in depth on what's going on, I'm just kind of overhearing what everybody's talking about. But if he wants to leave Nebraska, that's fine. I mean, he's not really developing into a first-round quarterback here. And if that's what he wants, then he should go. Now, Nebraska, they need to realize that you need to get quarterback competition in your room. You just can't recruit one guy and then have him play 3 or 4 years and think he's going to be like Tommy Frazier. We need quarterback competition. So what you were saying earlier about, everybody being nonchalant whether or not he's staying or going, that would be because we would have maybe 2 or 3 quarterbacks behind him that are capable of doing it. Now, I understand in this day and age, everybody leaves because of the portal and everything like that, but you want quarterback competition. You want to be like teams like Alabama that have guys that leave because they can't get playing time, because you got your 2 deep is stacked with like 4 stars, 5-star guys. That's what you want at your quarterback position. And I think Latif, as a true freshman, he's developing nicely. We need to get somebody else in here as well, because if Dylan leaves, we're going to be stuck with 1 quarterback. And if Latif leaves, then we have 0 quarterbacks and we're right back to square one. So we have to develop some depth. As far as Emmett Johnson goes, I don't know if he's a first or second round slam dunk draft pick at this point. So if he does leave early, he better get drafted in the first 2 rounds. Otherwise, it might not have been as good a choice.
Right.
He could go higher in the draft, And then another thing, he has to produce at the combine or his pro day. If he runs like a 4.59 and, just blows it, then he's gonna fall. But if he goes out there and runs like a 4.41, and aces all the drills, he's gonna rise in the first 2 rounds. So he's taking a risk, I think. But and Nebraska hasn't put a lot of tread on his tires either. So, it might be a good choice for him to leave. And once again, we need that running back room to be 3 or 4 deep. So when this turnover happens every year, like it does at all the major programs that are making the playoffs, that we'll be able to sustain that. And then my last point is not tomorrow, but Friday when we play Iowa, it's going to be a big game. I'd like to see Nebraska win at home. I don't really have a lot of faith in this coaching staff. They get out coached a lot. And this is Iowa's Super Bowl. And they would love nothing more than to go into Lincoln and win what they won like 6 in a row down in Lincoln. So, I mean, that's their pride and joy. You know, when we came to the Big Ten, we basically opened the door for Iowa to get more exposure, because once they came on Thanksgiving with us, now, you know, we get to hear everything coming out of their mouth. And, you know, but let's face it, Iowa's a above mediocre program. Nebraska used to be elite. Our goal is to get back to elite. Iowa's goal is just to beat Nebraska at the end of the year. and that's pretty much it. But that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Jason, thanks for the call. A lot there. A lot in the call there from Jason. I don't know about that last part. I mean, Nebraska got to beat Iowa. Like, it should be one of Nebraska's goals to beat Iowa. Nebraska needs to be part of the reason why they've not performed well is because they don't quite have that edge when they play Iowa, and Iowa really does. So you tell me, I mean, is that more embarrassing? Who's that more embarrassing for? Oh, you're so embarrassing. You like to beat us. I bet you like to beat us, huh? Yes, actually. We'd love that.
Typical Iowa doing things for exposure.
I'll keep doing that. And then as far as like quarterback competition goes, I just like if Nebraska is letting Dylan Raiola go, if he goes or whatever, if they don't chase after him, they're not saying, hey, look, we need a room that has more quarterback competition. We need what I think they should be saying, and what they would be saying is we are going to not placate to we're not going to be beholden to the quarterback and his wants and all the family's wants or whatever it is, and all those other things. Like, and I think that's healthy. I just think it's, I'd rather have, and then he mentioned the depth part on the running back too. Like, if Emmett leaves, maybe we can create some depth in there. I'd rather have Emmett.
Yeah.
I'd rather have one good guy. I'd rather have one really good guy. I mean, we were talking about depth at the beginning of the year, and it's not been an issue really at all because Emmett's ran for 1,200 yards. So, like, I'm good. I'm good with that. Just get one really good guy. Doesn't mean you have to be beholden to him, but I think the depth thing is a little bit of it's just a pipe dream. I mean, Nebraska's got a good situation with their quarterbacks set up if it all goes as status quo, but we know it's not going to. Your backup quarterback's always worse than your starter. Your backup quarterback's either not ready or not a capable player. And Nebraska's right now is probably just closer to not ready. I think TJ would be a capable player. One quick call here before we move on. Here is Mike on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, guys, another great show, and thanks for letting me get on.
Sure.
Hey, I'm just worn out by the whole Dylan thing, to be honest with you. The whole Raiola.
I get that.
Offensive line, his uncle. Hey, if anything, he should go home every day and ask his uncle how come he's not doing his job. It was just a moment before we knew eventually he was going to get hurt. The kid was taking a lot of pounding. But at the same time, I always heard this program was bigger than one person. And we need to make sure it stays that way. If he doesn't want to be here, let him go. And one thing about Nebraska fans, as passionate as we are about loving you, we can become just as passionate about not liking you. If it looks like you don't want to be here. As far as the competition, man, boy, we need competition everywhere, including with the quarterback, with the quarterback room. And we need a coach like that. We need a coach as though we're going to develop quarterbacks, and one person is not going to hold us hostage. What would he go to 4 different high schools and made up his mind 3 different times in a 2-week period on which college he was going to go to? I'm not kicking the kid. He's a young kid. I think he loves Nebraska. But man, if he doesn't want to be here, for goodness sake, let him go. And the guy that talked about Emmett, man, I'd rather have an Emmett than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But we do need a couple more Emmets in our program to make it happen. From the Iowa standpoint, Iowa looks at it this way, because I got a lot of Iowa friends. They look at Nebraska as the game. I mean, blood, sweat, tears, whatever it takes, we're going to beat these guys. And all I hear us talking about is like, it's just another game. And the reason why we lose every game with them mainly, we're just looking at it as another game. And they're coming there with a ball of fire, with no respect, with no respect to Lincoln Memorial Stadium or the fans or the players, and they put it to us and find a way to win. I think that's what's happening with Iowa. But I don't know, the coaching staff, I don't know, I'm still juggling on what in the world are we doing. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Have a good Turkey Day, man.
Thank you, Mike. You too. Enjoy. Yeah, if there is any, which I think this has gone away over the years, what Mike just said about, like, it's just another game. I hope it's not that way over there anymore. It doesn't feel like it is.
I just think 3 or 4 years ago we were like, is this even a rivalry? And now it's full blown.
It could be. It seems like to me that would be a convenient excuse for Nebraska fans after they lose, in lieu of just not admitting we're not as good as them. Right? You care about it. You care about it more. It's your Super Bowl. Like, good, congratulations. You know, how often do you hear just sour fans saying crap like that after your team loses to the other team?
It's not
congrats on winning your Super Bowl. Nice job. We got bigger and better things to do. Well, guess what? Nebraska doesn't have bigger and better things to do.
They don't.
The Pinstripe Bowl is not bigger or better than the Iowa game. It's not. The Vegas Bowl, not bigger or better than the Iowa game. It's not.
No.
It's not. No bowl game except for a playoff game is bigger or better than the Iowa game. And the sooner you admit that and you stop being like, oh, well, I don't really care about you, the better off you'll be.
It's not like if Nebraska wins on Friday, you're going to go, well, okay, I expected to win. We won. On to the bowl game. No, you're gonna talk your talk.
Oh, you're gonna celebrate.
Yeah.
You're gonna be celebrating. People still talk about Trey Palmer. It's been 3 years.
He's down there somewhere. He woke up pissed off.
He did all those things. And that was Nebraska's one win in the last 10 tries.
That's right. People forget.
Yeah. So however you want to rationalize it to yourself, if Nebraska loses the game, but they keep losing because they're not as good as them. But we're more talented. How could you say that? We're not as good at that. Correct. Talent isn't everything. Ceiling isn't everything. Having trophies in your trophy case is not everything. You actually have to win the football game that's in front of you. So yeah, I don't think there's any of that from Nebraska's side anymore. I think they're good and fed up with this whole Iowa thing. So yeah, it's time to, however you get there, however you get motivated for it, absolutely make it about beating them. I didn't hear all of Rule on Monday, but there was like a little bit of, I just think we got to block and tackle and that whole thing. And it was like, dude, you better have an edge on this thing. I'm telling you, you're about to get your doors blown off again if you don't have an edge. You better get mad when you see them swarming out onto the field from the tunnel and their fans in the corner over there. You better get pissed. Matt Rule should be showing his team all the montages, just a montage of all the times Iowa celebrated on Nebraska's field this week. There's been no shortage of options. Blowing kisses, doing windmills around the field, carrying the trophy, standing on the logo, all those things. That needs to be a factor on Friday. I'm sick of it not being a factor because, God, I hate losing to them.
That's the spirit.
I am so sick of it.
That's what this holiday is really about.
I can't go another year watching those guys take that trophy from over there and blah, blah, blah. I can't stand it.
We got to nail these scumbags.
I cannot stand it. So whatever you got to do to get there, get there. And Mike, great question from Josh on Twitter.
Hi, Josh.
Will there be a poem if Raiola leaves?
Remember that time he committed and plagiarized that poem?
I remember the poem.
We ever find the dork that he forced to write that for him?
Well, it was just off of Twitter, I think.
Yeah.
No, I think it was just somebody wrote it on Twitter. I think they must have got together. I don't know if he got compensated, but
I'm sure he did.
Maybe on the back end or something.
I'm willing to report that here and now.
Here is a text from the 760.
Hi, 760.
Of course, that's your take. Admitting we are not as good as them because you constantly talk crap about Nebraska. However, you could fit it into your program. Maybe relocate to Iowa, or wait, maybe you already do live in Council Bluffs. Wait, what is this person talking about? I do not.
You guys are always so negative about the program. There's
not.
so much to be positive about.
Do not put it on the internet that I live in Council Bluffs.
Yeah, don't. I go there like 6 times a year.
Do not put it on the internet that I live in Council Bluffs.
Fine community of fine people.
Also, is what I said is what I said offensive to Nebraska? Like, come on, you got to get real.
9-1.
You got to wake up. You got to wake up. They're better. Okay, they've been a better program. They beat you in the games. It's not because it's a random stroke of luck.
Yeah.
It's not just because like, oh, they do
punting's fun. Punting's really great. I love punts.
They're better.
Punting is stupid, by the way.
They're better. And think about your trepidation. Think about your nervousness, your tiptoeing going into this game. Oh, my God, I was going to run over. Why do you think they're going to do that? Because they're better. Okay? Give me a break. Mm-hmm. Wake up. Admit it. All right, we did not get to Big Ten Power Rankings with tears. Yeah. But we had a good conversation anyway, which is totally fine. Maybe we still will later on in the show.
Ooh.
Mitch Sherman is our next guest.
Mitch.
We will get his thoughts on all this, the Dylan of it all, and plenty more coming up on the Connor Happer Show after this on 1620 The Zone. But first, fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back. And however you'd like to get on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Plus, with Underdog's quick payouts, you can get your profits fast. So download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions are powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Who do you want to talk about first?
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
He can play. And we need people that can play.
And we'll never be royal. Let me live that fantasy.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic. On the Connor Happer Show. On 1620, The Zone.
He can play.
All right, we're joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Hi, Mitch. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Connor. How are you?
Good. We're okay. We're back.
You made it back. Yes.
Made it back. The just, tricky, a little tricky coming in last night, but we got on the ground. We got wheels in the ground, and then I realized that it was winter. I had texted you and you said, welcome to winter. And I said, oh no, what happened? And you were right. It was winter.
All I know is I was outside on Monday night watching high school football, and it felt like a nice fall football kind of night. And then something had changed 24 hours later.
Yeah. When the winter comes, it tends to arrive abruptly and rudely. And that's exactly what happened last night. All right, Mitch. So we were just talking about, we were talking about a variety of different things, but the topics were Dylan Raiola and then Iowa. Which do you think that we should talk about first?
Well, let's talk about Dylan because
let's talk about Dylan.
Let's talk about Dylan because I'm curious what your angle is on that, what the new perspective is, or if there's anything new at all.
Well, I saw there was a CBS Sports article that was like, hey, there's, Nebraska is bracing for the possibility or something like that, however is worded that he's going to enter the transfer portal, or that there's being trial balloons that are being floated out there right now. And my angle was, it feels like to me, and I would have said this before that story, that it feels like we're headed possibly that direction, or maybe even probably that direction.
Possibly. I think that this is something that you go through every year with top players on your roster. Dylan went through this last year and, of course, ended up staying at Nebraska. And this is a new year, a new experience. And there's more urgency for him now because the expectation for Dylan coming into college was that he would spend 3 years in college and then he would move on to the draft. And I think the thing that he's going to look at and that his family's going to look at is if he's on track for that. And if he feels like he is at Nebraska, then Nebraska's a good place for him. It's treated him well. I think he's comfortable at Nebraska. Maybe he's not looking for comfortable. Maybe he's looking for something different. But I at this stage, if you're Nebraska, that's a very I think blanket statement that you're preparing for some kind of I think you're preparing for that with a large chunk of your roster. So
you're probably right. That's true.
Yeah, until there's something more concrete when we get into December, I'm kind of at like status quo on that situation. But certainly I think everybody's eyes have to be open to the possibility that there's going to be some kind of a change with the picture that Nebraska has at quarterback moving into 2026. TJ Lateef having played, these last couple games and finishing out the season, like it's very difficult to keep two players at that spot with starting experience.
What more, if they decided that they were going to go the route of trying to, make it convincing for Dylan to return, make it a good situation for him to be here next year and for Nebraska to have a good team and for him to get all he wants out of the college experience and go to the playoff or whatever it might be. What do you think Nebraska, what's the brief outline of what Nebraska would have to do to make that enticing enough for because they went in the portal last offseason and got a bunch of, pretty solid players. Is it just the same? Is it the same thing again? And I wonder what's changed year over year.
I mean, the two things you can look at are your supporting cast and then your coaching. I mean, there's a number of things, but those would be jump to mind for me as the first two things. And Nebraska absolutely addressed the coaching situation a year ago, brought in Dana Holgerson at the end of Dylan's freshman year, and then Dana and Dylan, kind of moved forward together into the off season. And of course you have Glenn Thomas as somebody who Matt Rule highly values as a teacher of quarterbacks. So I think they are where they are with the coaching part of it. I don't believe that Nebraska is going to be looking to make any kind of adjustments in that area with how the quarterbacks are coached in the system moving into the off season. But yeah, the personnel around him, the portal, that's in flux. And that's going to be addressed, much like it was a year ago. The big thing for this portal season is beefing up his protection, because I think that's the number one concern. Or if it's not the number one concern, it's near the top of the list if you are Dylan, and you're trying to gauge what needs to be better from year 2 to year 3 to provide him the opportunity to get to that ultimate goal a year from now, which is to start to get ready for the NFL. Nebraska has to be able to put a better cast on the field, or a better system in place that protects him, so that in losses against Michigan and Minnesota, he's not getting sacked 16 times.
Do you think so? We're going back a step kind of here now. Do you think, how hard will Nebraska chase him? Right? If this is a conversation, how hard do you think how desperately does Nebraska need him back on next year's team?
Boy, I mean, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah,
because I don't want to make it sound like I think that Nebraska's not appreciative of what he's done. He's done, I think, as much or more for the program off the field than he has on the field. And he's done a lot on the field in starting 22 games and getting Nebraska to a place last year where it qualified for a bowl game for the first time in 8 years. Like, that's not a small feat, and especially to do it as a true freshman. And then this year to withstand, a lot of the deficiencies, stand in there as and some of this is on him, as he needs to get rid of the ball more quickly than he did at times this season. But clearly there was an issue with the offensive line and the tackles and his protection. A year ago at this time, I think Nebraska, it was fairly desperate. The need to keep Dylan, and it's important this year. But I mean, I don't think that the I wouldn't say it's the same scenario. You really felt like everything about 2025 and what Nebraska wanted to do started with making sure that he was retained a year ago. And again, like, try to do it and put your best foot forward if you're Nebraska. I don't think it should be put on the back burner. I don't think it should be an afterthought. I think it's still very important to have him around. But it's probably not like the same level of urgency. And it was like the top level of urgency a year ago. So there's really nowhere to go but down.
Speaking of urgency, Mitch, so let's move on to the other topic, Iowa. Listening to Matt Rule on Monday and get leading into this game, which everyone could see it on paper. It's a big one for Nebraska, not only because it's Iowa, but there's a lot on the line as far as how people will look back at this season. Does Nebraska possess the proper urgency in this game this year? Are they going in with the right mindset against Iowa based on what you've heard this week?
Well, I haven't heard anything this week that makes me think that they're not. But I'm kind of done with 12 games into the season, and I think Nebraska fans are like this, and just observers of the program are, where I'm kind of past the, all right, let's see what the Huskers have to say on Monday and Tuesday, and then we're going to get a really good sense of how they play on Saturday, or in this case Friday. I think that like that stuff has run its course. It gets to be Groundhog Day a little bit with some of these media availabilities when you get into November. They're all kind of shiny and interesting, and you come out feeling like you really learned something about the team or about the players in September and even into October. But this time of year, it kind of gets stale, and it gets to the point where there's really not all that much more that's new to say. The Iowa week, a lot of the guys, first of all, it was a bunch of seniors that Nebraska put up there because they're spotlighting spotlighting the players who are going to be honored before the game on Friday, and that's understandable. But I think it lends a little bit less to like providing insight into what the team is going to look like when they come out and play. And with the coordinators, they're kind of answering questions about, that are more big picture and pointed toward the off season. Certainly that was the case with John Butler on Tuesday. So I don't know. I have to see it when the game starts. So one series of action in the game is going to tell me more about where this team's mindset is at than anything that I heard Monday or Tuesday.
What about like toward Iowa? We talked about this a little bit on the podcast, yesterday. I guess that was yesterday. Yes. And Nebraska's general approach has been, we treat the games like this, and we just have to do the things that are required of us to win football games. And Iowa comes in here with an edge every year, and then they win by 3, and that's kind of the story. So I wonder if Nebraska's directed some of their attention like personally at Iowa this week. And we saw, they didn't shake hands and the whole thing last year. Like, I wonder what mindset they have about Iowa with this game coming up.
Yeah, it depends who you talk to. I don't think Matt Rule's put out a call for his team to all feel like this is the biggest game of the year, that to all feel like they need to pour more emotion into this than usual. Like, I think he's left it for his players to kind of determine that on their own, how they feel, and for the leaders to shape the mindset of the guys in the locker room going through this week. This is a week where, because it's a short week and because Nebraska was out on the road last Saturday in the nature of that game, where, I think you just kind of had to get through the important business and then hope that like the training and everything that you've been through in an off season and then in 11 games is, can be a foundation to get this team to play well. Like, I don't think there's a whole lot extra that's going on this week. Like, all right, it's Iowa. We got to do this. We got to remember, what happened last year. Let's talk about the handshake situation. No, I don't think they have time for that this week. I think it's mostly just buckle down, get through the game plan and try to treat this game like it's any game. But maybe there are, I think definitely there are some guys within that. There's some who do and some who don't when it comes to feeling a certain way about Iowa. And, it's probably the same way if you are honest about it and get the feelings of the players on the other side too in Iowa City.
Yep. Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. All right, Mitch, we'll let you go. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks a lot.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Like I said, man, I'll make it. I love producing great video content. And so I could throw together a quick montage of all the times where I got mad at my television screen because Iowa was doing something on it.
A video.
Yes. Have you seen Connor's video?
I
did a video yesterday. I did video content yesterday. Thanks, Frank.
So much hashtag content.
So I could make, if just tell me who to send it to, because I think Nebraska needs they need some edge, man. And if you don't want to make Iowa a big deal, fine. Do all the games.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska should be more ticked off than they are. I've been big on this lately.
This is a good take.
I just think teams like we got some teams around here. I think Creighton's one of them. They just don't have like an edge right now. Like, whatever you got to do to get you to that place where you are playing with absolute desperation. You are playing like there is no tomorrow. You got to be there every night. You got to be there every night. You're not gonna beat Baylor and Iowa State if you don't have it. You're not gonna beat Iowa if you don't have it. And so I'd like to see a little bit of that desperation on Friday. This is everything. Don't back away from it.
Got to bring it. It's okay to emote.
This is the biggest game of your life.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll be back. Josh has the odd news. Don't forget to get your opinions in for I Have an Opinion coming up in about 15 minutes. By the way, Pedro said he was giving thanks and then had an opinion. I'll read the thanks part first. He says, from the morning show to the after hour show, you guys have fantastic talent on all your shows. I'm constantly working on all kinds of projects, and your shows makes the job and the day go fast. Great job, guys. I hope the suits give you all a big Christmas bonus. Yes. Call them. Call them up. Call them up.
Please.
All right. We'll be back, and then we'll read Pedro's opinion at noon. After this, on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys?
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
The key to preserving your concrete is staying ahead of problems before they start. Without proper protection, even new concrete can crack, sink, and deteriorate. Everlevel Concrete Repair offers preventative maintenance to protect your driveways, sidewalks, or any concrete surface. Proactively staying ahead of these issues can save you from replacing your concrete altogether. Preserve your concrete.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
It is time for the odd news. We're still going to grunt the slate, have opinions, make picks, fobs. No fobs. No fobs. We still have so much to cover. We haven't even talked about Creighton basketball on the show today.
Do we need to?
Yes, I have questions. I have questions.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions.
I have questions. I have insights.
Oh, okay. Insights is good.
I love insight. We love to bring you insight on the show. But first, the insights of the odd news.
Oh, we didn't get to talk about this George Kittle guy because
what did he do? Not catch touchdowns?
John Bishop went viral and sort of took up the whole show yesterday.
He did. Way to go, John.
After the Niners defeated the Panthers on Monday Night Football, tight end George Kittle turned his attention to college football. Specifically bussing with the boys star, Will Compton. Compton and his podcast partner, Taylor Lewan, have enjoyed a meteoric rise and are now regular contributors on ESPN throughout the football season. And in a post-game interview with Scott Van Pelt, Kittle was given free rein to talk some smack to Compton, even disclosing that he didn't appreciate a voice memo about the rivalry while he was prepping for his Monday Night Football game. Quote, "Hey, Will Compton, didn't really appreciate your voice memo on the day of my game, talking crap to me about Nebraska, Iowa. Didn't settle with me. You know what? I didn't like it. That's the kind of thing Nebraska does. They take cheap shots. I'm preparing for a game on national TV, and you're coming to me about Nebraska, Iowa. That means you're scared. You're terrified. You lost by 30 at Penn State. They just fired their coach, and you lost by 30. Are you kidding me?
27.
27 is 30. I was going to come in there and run the ball down your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. Sit on the bus that doesn't go anywhere and shut your mouth, Will Compton."
Wow. And this was all on television last night?
On Scott Van Pelt's Sports Center on Monday night.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I will say, I'll give credit to Will Compton here. I think that's a pretty pro move to chirp the NFL tight end before his game, right before his game starts. And I know you're getting ready for your game, but check this out. You got no chance. You better win this thing against the Panthers tonight because Friday's going to be a bad day for you. I appreciate that. I think that's a good move by Will.
Get your podcast talked about in a...
No. I'm not even for that perspective. For the pure love of the game, for the pure trash talk of it all. I think that's a great chirp. A well-timed chirp.
A well-timed chirp. I love a well-timed chirp.
Yeah, same here. So nice job, Will. Way to go.
I got to send this. Okay.
What are you sending?
You share passwords with people and they always text you, "Hey, what's the password?" instead of just always being logged in like I am.
Well, I mean, sometimes you get logged out.
Yeah, it's true. It happens.
Maybe just
I get it. It happens.
Close it, shut it down, Josh. So no more access for you.
I've thought about it. We go to Thailand, where a 65-year-old woman believed to be dead stunned temple staff in Bangkok when they heard a faint knocking from inside her coffin after her brother brought her in for cremation. I'm not dead yet. General and financial affairs manager at the, I'm not saying that, told the Associated Press on Monday that he was discussing cremation with the deceased woman's brother when they heard the noise coming from inside the coffin. I was a bit surprised, so I asked them to open the coffin, and everyone was startled. I saw her opening eyes slightly and knocking on the side of the coffin. The side of the coffin? She must have been knocking for quite some time.
Okay, what is the result of this?
She's clearly alive.
She's still alive?
She's still alive. The sister had been bedridden for about 2 years before her health declined, and she appeared to stop breathing 2 days earlier.
She was bedridden for 2 years before her health declined?
That's what the article says, yes. Believing she was dead, she was placed in a coffin and made the 300-mile...
What do you mean, believing she was dead? She has to be dead.
Their medical system is different, Connor. They had to make the 300-mile trip to a Bangkok hospital where she had wished to donate her organs. The hospital, however, refused to accept the woman without a death certificate.
That makes sense. That's a great job by them.
That's when the brother took the lady in the box to the temple on Sunday.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
The brother is the problem.
It kind of seems that way. The temple
seems like some maybe wishful thinking there.
The temple offers free cremations, but also turned the brother away because he lacked a death certificate.
Well, so Miss Daniel writes in and said, still alive? No, they cremated her anyway. No, like, remember that story? It was in Lincoln. I think it was in Lincoln last year.
Oh, yeah.
So the lady was alive, technically, but she and so they checked her. I can't remember what precipitated this. I can't remember what was before this, but like they found out while she was in the coffin, she was kind of still alive. So she's technically alive because alive versus dead is a zero-sum. It's a pass-fail situation, right? So if you're alive, you're alive. But in her case, she wasn't really alive. She just was living. Her body was not dead. And
but again, it works both ways. It's a zero-sum game.
But then she died.
Yeah.
But then she just died like 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering. I see what we're dealing with here now. We're dealing with a brother who wanted to move on with his life. It feels like.
Seems like it, yeah. I mean, the lady had been bedridden for 2 years. That's got to be a burden on the brother.
Hot Danger says, sounds like Charlie Bucket's grandpa. Oh, what? A chocolate adventure? I can walk now. Dude, Charlie Bucket. What
Grandpa Joe was a real hustler.
Grandpa Joe was absolutely sandbagging. There's no doubt about it.
There's nothing to get up for, so why get up?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving holiday, not just for football. More and more, you're seeing college basketball in the limelight. It's feast week. Have you heard, Connor?
I have.
Okay. UConn Huskies head coach Dan Hurley had some thoughts on the holiday ahead of his top 15 showdown with Illinois at MSG on Black Friday.
Is this from Dan Hurley's book?
No, this is from his mouth.
Okay.
The well-known hothead went on an expletive-filled rant about eating turkey on Thanksgiving.
What?
After asking he couldn't remember tryptophan. We're not going to. He was asked a question. Hey, how do you prepare for a Black Friday game when your team's going to be celebrating Thanksgiving? That there's a lot of non-basketball distractions, right? And he said, we're not going to eat the bleeping tryptophan on Thursday and be sluggish as bleep on Friday. So we're going to eat the tryptophan, the turkey, and everything on Wednesday. So all that tryptophan is out of our system by the time we get to MSG. Here we go.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. It's unfortunate that these college athletes have to miss out on the turkey, but I just think you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is not a day. It's when your family, whether by birth or by choice, is gathered around the table. Yes.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that before you play a basketball game.
Right.
That's a bad time to do it.
It does seem like a bad idea.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the odd news. The noon hour is yet to come. Starting with, I have an opinion.
Oh.
Please send in your opinions at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Instructions on Twitter feed. You can text 402-951-1620, and you can even leave a YouTube comment. Please send those in, and we will open it up after this on 1620 The Zone.
This is the I Have an Opinion song. Haven't done an intro yet. Need to get on that.
Yeah. You still haven't done an intro, Josh.
That one's pretty good.
You better get on that.
A lot of people give me ideas for I Have an Opinion intros, and I'm pretty set on that one.
Why didn't you do, why don't you make I Have an Opinion? Why don't you make an opinion like, I don't know how you know what is what on here.
What are you looking for?
The biggest.
No, not that one. The new Robin basketball intro.
Robin Round.
Robin Round.
The gray one on the left.
The gray one on the left. Oh, there it is. Okay. Why don't you make this I Have an Opinion?
Every intro cannot be Round Ball Rock.
Why not? It would be so funny if everybody's intro was Round Ball Rock.
Then Round Ball Rock wouldn't be that special if you heard it 11 times a day.
Mitch Sherman.
Robin Washut.
No.
Odd news.
Steve Sipple.
Robin Washut.
Damn it.
The crossover.
The crossover. Wait, what is this? Grunt the Slate.
Gonna, I'm gonna grunt the slate.
You should have done that. All right, opinions. Please send them in at Happer Show, at Connor Happer, and the JTech Instructions on Twitter feed. I always like to, we get a lot of texts here as well, so we'll read from there. Anything that you'd like to get to start. We get to Pedro's opinion.
Yeah, start there. I'm ill prepared. I was eating chips.
That's like you. That's like the you version of Nick playing chess.
That's right.
Pedro.
Hi, Pedro.
I have an opinion. Just one opinion. Iowa football and Nebraska basketball are the same. Winning something big at the end of any year, or try winning something big at the end of any year. YSS, which means you still suck.
Oh, no.
Can you really suck if you win against your rival? Interesting thought. And an interesting thought process. I got an email from Seth.
Hi, Seth.
I have an opinion. Stop setting up stupid little stands outside of Hy-Vee or Ace Hardware or whatever store and trying to sell me your garbage. I'm going to the store to buy stuff. Stop trying to sell me more stuff. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. If you are one of the parents who allows your kids to do this and sits there all day with them, you need to rethink your life. Loser.
Great take.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that.
I agree in lockstep.
I will reserve the right to, like, I don't know what kind of parent really I'm going to be yet. Because
you haven't tried. You're never there.
Very funny, Josh. Very funny. But, like, I don't know. Like, if my child is like, Dad, I really need to win the cookie sale. I need to win. I know the best way to win the cookie sale. It's do exactly what Seth just said to not do. That's how you win.
That's true.
So am I going to have to tell her, like, no, you don't have to win the cookie sale, honey.
Not at that cost.
You don't have to win the cookie sale. Or am I going to say, absolutely, I think that's a great idea. Let's go. Let's go set it up. Let's go in the high volume areas. The one kid at the golf course, I told you about him a couple times selling the $20 bags of popcorn. I mean, that kid, he did not lose his popcorn sale. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
He won his popcorn sale.
The one offshoot I have of this opinion is the vultures from a particular phone company that are inside a particular big box store.
Target.
Your words, not mine. That when I'm looking for toys for my kid, they're meandering up and down the aisles. Hey, who's your cell phone provider? Would you like to make the switch today? No, I would not, because I'm not in the cell phone section. If I wanted something, I'd go to the cell phone section, or I'd go to the cell phone store.
I know somebody. I will keep their names. I will keep their names out of this. I know somebody who did that, who changed their cell phone provider.
Who did it?
And I thought, like,
whoa,
you're gonna have to really, really, like, how good of a deal could this possibly be for me to uproot my cell phone provider? I'm just so I will do whatever my cell phone provider asks of me because I like the consistency of having I know exactly what's going to happen every single month.
How non-confrontational are you that you can't just tell this person to buzz off?
Yeah, I just
I guess you asked. I guess I'm changing today.
And not so surprisingly, after a short period of time, this person changed back to their original cell phone provider.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, it was sort of interesting that way. I was like, all right, at least you tried.
I'm the shopper. I come to you and tell you
the shopper
what I want.
Okay.
You don't come to me and say, hey, do you want this? This isn't a kiosk at the mall where you can just box me out from getting past you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a store.
Yep.
I'll make the choices.
Good job. What about Girl Scouts? I like to buy the cookies, and I don't have many opportunities to buy the cookies, so I actually don't care if they're out in front of the store because I actually want those. And the problem is I don't know when I want those. I just know I want those when they're available to me, and so I will buy a box of Girl Scout cookies.
I find it hard to say no to them, so that's why I don't like them.
John emails in.
Hi, John.
I have an opinion. Twitter became X in July of 2023. It is well past time to stop writing X, previously Twitter, when referencing an X post. I think everyone knows this. By treating your readers like morons, you show yourself to be the true moron.
Oh.
I just call it Twitter and just avoid all of that. Just call it Twitter.
I ain't doing all
Everybody
that.
knows what you're talking about. You can call it Twitter. You can call it X. You don't have to call it X, formerly Twitter. You don't have to call it Twitter and actually X. You don't have to do it. Just call it X or Twitter. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Here is Scott.
Hi, Scott.
I have an opinion. Archie punting it out of bounds may keep Iowa at least 10 points lower in total.
That might be enough.
Just punt it out of bounds, Archie.
Yeah.
Punt it out of bounds,
don't
Archie.
kick it to Caden.
Just maybe you want to just roll it to him. We're gonna roll it. We're gonna roll it. He could do that. He could do funny punts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the wind's going to be like on Friday. If it's anything like it is right now, I mean, we could be throwing up some knuckle punts. This could be a big Archie game. Archie versus Caden Wheatchin is maybe the biggest battle of the game.
Yeah. Wow. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
Can you make a graphic? Can you do, you know how they do the baseball half face?
I know.
Do half Archie and half Wheatchin and then do Nebraska, Iowa, Black Friday. We could put something together like that. Here is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Whoever's calling right now, I mean, we're probably not going to answer.
Yeah.
Also, there's a caller on the line wanting to talk about Dylan Raiola. Just not in this segment. All right? Not in this segment. If you want to wait, that's fine. We'll get to it the next segment. Chris, I have an opinion. Cranberries are the biggest waste of space on the Thanksgiving plate. I have a solution for you, Chris. Don't get them.
Okay, yeah.
Throw in the garbage. Throw them in the garbage. You don't need that crap on there. Your Thanksgiving plate is yours.
How much space is that really taking up?
Your Thanksgiving plate is yours. I give this rant every year.
Mm-hmm.
You really get one crack at this. No, I'm going to go up for seconds. But the second plate is not as satisfying as the first plate.
It's true.
You get one crack at this. All right. And so you need every square inch of that plate working for you. And by getting the cranberries, all you're doing is trying to tell the person who brought the cranberries that you appreciate them. Thanksgiving plates have no time for other people's feelings. We don't care about your feelings. It's the Thanksgiving plate. This is about winning. This is having the most optimal plate that you could possibly have on your first plate at Thanksgiving. And so if you're wasting spots on that plate just to make somebody happy or just to say, yeah, they tell you, hey, try the cranberries. Okay, I'll try it, whatever. I'll try something new. Do it on the second one, right? Do it later. Do it tomorrow. Do it never, for all I care. This is not the time for your feelings. Thank you.
Boy, it just really ratchets up the pressure when you frame it like that, though. You're
It's
right.
a big deal.
You're right, but it does ratchet up the pressure.
It's a huge deal. What was that call about?
It's the same guy who was already on.
Okay. So, kid, are they waiting?
They're waiting.
All right. Give me 10 minutes. Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
I have an opinion. Nebraska basketball is more enjoyable for me at almost every level at this point over Husker football. Sure, a lot of it is any bit of success has been fleeting for the team forever. When they have some, it feels fun and unexpected. But I think the games are more fun and less taxing to go to. Well, this Nebraska football season is like a good basketball. It still comes with 0 unexpected wins. You don't get a Purdue win with football. Okay, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah. Oh, okay. That's more of a Nebraska football thing, but that's what Seth is saying. Lastly, Nebraska football is just drama after drama after drama. It's become exhausting to be a fan of the program. You don't have Fred Hoiberg calling people late at night because the story broke. I'll never be able to quit football, but at this point, it feels like I'm staying together for the kids. And basketball, I'm enjoying the marriage, even if it's quirky and not perfect.
Well, you're also still in the honeymoon phase of the Nebraska basketball season.
But he's saying he's looking at it from a more 40,000 foot view. Like it's not just right now.
Oh, he made some very good points. Yeah.
Nebraska football can be exhausting.
It can. It's a long season.
It's not even that long of a season. It's just, it feels so long because
it felt really
nothing good
year,
happens. Yeah. The unexpected win thing I thought was the best point he made, right? Like Nebraska hasn't had an unexpected win in, I don't know.
They've had some unexpected losses.
Oh, many disappointing losses.
Yeah.
When's the last time they had an unexpected win?
That's a great question. Not even like a Vegas favored them or didn't favor them.
Because that's when you really get happy.
Yeah.
That's what, like, my favorite Creighton basketball seasons are the one where I expect nothing and then they win a game in the tournament. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Everything is gravy. It's awesome.
That's the kind of gravy I like.
Right? That's what has created this nightmare of a Creighton basketball season because people expected a lot of them and they stink right now.
Big yikes.
Yeah, right? So I liked I see a lot of comps to that 14-15 team, the year after Doug team. For the record, this Creighton team is better to much better than that 14-15 team for people who are saying that on the internet. But there was fun parts about that 14-15 team because they unexpectedly had a few wins in that season. They beat Oklahoma. They shot the lights out, right? I can't remember their good they had some disappointing losses, but nobody really expected anything and nobody knew what to think. It would be like, we got these short white guys. We're going to play in the Big East. We don't even have Doug McDermott. What's going on? So that there's parts of that season that was kind of fun. They beat Nebraska. Nebraska was coming off that NCAA tournament appearance, right? They had some moments. So the unexpected win thing, I think, is a good point. I have an opinion from the 308.
At 308.
These medicine ads, these scumbags are scamming are ridiculous. No, Veoza. I don't want your medicine for hot flashes that might make parts of my body bleed, even though I've seen the same commercial 4 times in 20 minutes. P.S. I'm a 37-year-old man.
We got to nail these scumbags.
Josh, you're all about that. You're all about that drop. It was perfectly dropped in yesterday, by the way. But it was you.
That was me. That was my voice.
It was you. I find it funny how they're not even commercials anymore. They're just disclaimers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They will get on, start talking in fast voice while people are playing in flowery meadows in the background. And they'll just read you words that you don't understand. That's the whole commercial now.
Yep.
It's a bit exhausting. Yes.
I don't follow it. It's all white noise to me at this point.
The Squirrel writes in.
Hi, the Squirrel.
I have an opinion. Vanity Smurf is the worst Smurf. Michelangelo is the worst Ninja Turtle. And
Whoa.
Garfield is a fat POS. Odie the dog should kill him. Happy Thanksgiving, the Squirrel.
Okay. Yeah, wow. Vanity Smurf is
What is that?
Is a bad Smurf, but not the worst Smurf. Brainy Smurf was the worst Smurf.
Okay.
Michelangelo, the best turtle.
I know nothing about any of these things.
Raphael was the worst turtle. He's like, God, just why so angry, dude? Chill the bleep out.
What do you think about Garfield?
I like Garfield, but yeah, you're probably right. I don't think Odie should kill Garfield, but
he's fat and lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he is fat. That's the appeal.
Odie was the dog.
That's right.
In Garfield.
That's right.
I didn't know there was a dog in Garfield. I thought it was just Garfield.
There was also another cat named Nermal.
Nermal.
He tried to mail Nermal to Abu Dhabi all the time.
What the hell was this show? Jesus.
It's a wonderful comic strip written by Jim Davis.
Aaron Falls Up. He says the worst turtle is actually Leonardo. He sucks.
Okay, we can compromise on that.
Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
I have an opinion. If you want to stay sane, do not go to a Walmart the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought there'd be more there, but no, yeah, you're right. Don't go to the grocery store today. Don't go to Walmart. Don't go to Target.
Sindelar writes in,
Alex,
I have an opinion. Trying to decide what to have for lunch today has been very difficult. That's me every day.
Yeah.
Every meal is important.
Should we help Alex?
Okay. So I got a little story for you.
Ooh, okay.
So Sunday on my day where I was doing nothing, just all day.
Yeah, but you got to Vegas at like 8 a.m.
I got to Vegas at 7 a.m.
7?
It was the most seamless travel and hotel entry situation that I've ever been a part of. And yeah, the plane landed at like 6:20 and I got to the hotel at 6:45. I go up to the desk at 6:45. I go, there's no way you have a room for me yet. And they're like, yeah, we do. Go.
Go for it.
Go to your room. And I was like, cool, but it's 7:00. What? This gives me too many options. And then I, just basically started walking around all day. So it's 10:30, and one of the sandwich places inside the hotel opens at 11. And I'm bored. I got nothing to do. I sat there and I stared at the menu for 30 minutes.
Whoa.
All the time contemplating which sandwich I should get. I was Googling pictures.
Okay.
I was looking at, they had stuff in the case, to look at examples. I agonized.
So this
30 consecutive minutes, hard thought about sandwich.
This wasn't, you looked at the menu and in 5 minutes you had your pick and you just kind of raw dogged it for the next 25. This was actual thought being put into it. Wow.
And I ended up with a good sandwich. I sent Josh a picture.
You did. It looked delicious.
Asian Joe writes in.
Hi, Asian Joe.
I have an opinion. I miss landline interviews. There's too much background noise and unreliable audio quality. I also hate Zoom interviews when people don't have an external mic and it sounds like a tin can. Joe,
welcome to our world.
You are absolutely talking to the right people about this.
Some people in the office, they come around, they say, hey, why don't we put everyone on Zoom? And I go, that doesn't sound any better.
I absolutely, it bothers me like way more than you would think. It should bother any human. When I see the people on their laptops or they're in their cars doing up and down video over a stream, over a Zoom call.
We got to stop
to go on television.
We got to stop the vertical car interviews.
It's television. This is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And I agree. So like when the landline interviews, it's so crisp. The responses are immediate. Like, even if it just feels like a little bit, and we've broken the seal on all this stuff because we've experienced some bad things and COVID happened and all that stuff. And people can do interviews from anywhere now. So it's more convenient and all that stuff, but we must care about the quality. We have to care about the quality.
This is a great take.
Which is why, for the record, this and other reasons, I suppose, I don't want to like StreamYard interviews for this show with our regular guests. It sounds like a good idea in theory, but first of all, I want to know, I want consistency. I want the guests to be there every week. It's just easier if they have their phones. to call in. And second of all, I don't trust all of our guests to have a proper setup from a stream perspective. I don't trust them.
Absolutely.
I can't do that. So phones work just fine. And as long as the connection is good, which sometimes it's of course not.
Sometimes
it's of course not. But thank you, Joe, for mentioning that. When we had on my show in Lincoln, we had Sean Callahan on. Sean
Callahan.
Sean's like, call my landline.
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, I love that. I will call your landline. That's
Sometimes they'll go, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was in the basement.
Brandon on Twitter.
Hi, Brandon.
From Brandon on X, formerly Twitter. Nebraska Class A football is a total sham. What does that mean, Brandon?
Well,
I saw a perfectly good football team win a state championship last night.
There's some allegations about that team.
No, what? You keep saying this. People keep perpetuating this. What's wrong with them?
Some people go to Kansas City for lunch. Some people go to Kansas City for players.
Josh, you keep saying this, but do you know this, or are you just perpetuating something that gets said over and over and over again?
Let me be crystal clear on this. I am absolutely perpetuating.
Stop it. Because maybe they have a very, very normal team, and maybe these people from Kansas City actually aren't that.
I mean, games were forfeited for reasons.
Games were forfeited because they had an ineligible player, which I don't know if that was a similar issue or a separate issue entirely.
Who's to say? Not me.
But you keep perpetuating it, Josh.
Allegations can be addressed in various different platforms.
And then you can keep alligating.
I'll alligate all day, man.
You are alligating. Stop alligating. Stop alligating, Josh. Mike says the NSAA agrees with Odson.
I'm going to need to see a stack of birth certificates and 2 pieces of current mail from each player.
Seth follows up on his opinion from the whole tables thing.
Welcome back, Seth.
A lot of F words.
Whoa, hey, maybe those are pratfalls.
Yeah, there's really no way around that. There's a lot of F words in there. That's all.
I got some tweets.
All right, go ahead. I don't have Happer show.
SEAL Team Nick has an opinion.
Hello.
I have an opinion. Nebraska captains should go in for hugs with the Iowa captains during the midfield meeting.
Great idea. They should bring them Valentines.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them cards.
Bouquet of flowers like the seniors.
Yeah,
get.
give them a card.
Uh-huh.
It says thinking about you, and inside is a $100 Visa gift card.
Curtis, I have an opinion. Having Round Ball Rock as the intro to every segment on your show would be a great bit.
I agree. I have an opinion.
Robin Washut.
Freedio.
Okay. Hi.
I have an opinion. November 15th until December 24th is the only pleasant time to shop because the stores are overstuffed and employees have been forced to be nice to you.
That's not true. That is a bad opinion. The employees are way meaner during this time. They're way more fed up.
Yeah, but the stores have things in them.
The stores have things in them, but also the stores have too many people.
Yeah.
And the employees are not nice to you. They don't interact with you because they're busy shopping for other people.
Well, at certain big box stores, they are now contractually obligated to smile at you and say hello and
that's nice.
Be pleasant.
It's nice in theory, Josh.
With it, hey, I'm within 4 feet of a person. I have to smile at them. Kind of weird, but
I don't know if I agree with this.
You're
opinion.
thinking.
Any more tweets?
No.
Okay, perfect. Mike writes in.
Hi, Mike.
Captains, now kiss. Please. Can we all play a good fun game today? Kiss each other. All right, I have an opinion. We will get to our caller who wants to very badly talk about Dylan Raiola on the other side, so we will do that. One more opinion from Coop.
Hey, Coop.
I have an opinion. The call that John went nuts over had zero impact on the game, which is exactly the reason you don't go nuts over calls. Calls have no impacts on games.
We'll send a message to Pavelka not to go nuts.
I am pretty I've been pretty clear. I think the more influential and impactful call in the game was the one on Nick Graves. That was not a foul. He just batted the ball off the guy and it went out of bounds in a 3-point game with less than a minute to go. Would have been Creighton's ball down 3 against Baylor. If I would have been play-by-playing for that, I would have yelled like John.
More homers on the radio.
Horse crap call. Horse crap call.
That was pretty good.
Back after this on 1620 The Zone. Welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hudson with you in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. Just turned on the Players Era Championship. Apparently 2-0 Iowa State had to play Syracuse today. That's a game.
No, they were only plus 19.
Not enough.
No.
Don't forget, Friday is Nebraska football. We got you covered both before and after. After. Severe Reaction Sunday, 8 to 10, 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Equitable Bank and Nebraska Medicine. Big Red Overreaction after with myself and Josh on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg, brought to you by Equitable Bank, No Name Nutrition, Jason and Contracting, Demons Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, Prairie Fire Casino, Peerless Energy Systems. And then 1620 The Pregame still rolls on with Josh and Michael on Friday morning. All right, we have kept AJ waiting long enough. Hopefully he's still there. AJ, thanks for waiting. What's going on? I figured. If only our phones.
I'll be AJ's proxy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he gave the take to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Why on earth is getting rid of our starting quarterback Nebraska's top priority? Make it make sense.
Whoa. Not getting rid of him is the top. You took that and you flipped it to make it seem like Nebraska should be urgently trying to get rid of him.
That's what you're saying.
I am not. I am most certainly not.
Why is everybody okay with this?
I am not. Maybe AJ's calling back now.
100-star quarterbacks leaving.
I am not saying that. I am saying I am wondering how hard Nebraska will chase him if he wants to leave. And I certainly don't think it's the end of the program if he does leave, but I am in no way kicking him out the door or forcing him out. I'm just saying if he wants to try and run away again, then what's it from Catch Me If You Can, right? Hanratty goes at the end. He said, "You're going to come back." I said, what makes you so sure? I'm going to let you fly, okay? I'm going to let you fly because you're coming back. You want to know how I know? Nobody's chasing you. Also,
seems like a guy who does kind of need that.
You want to know why the Yankees always win? It's because of the pinstripes. They're distracted by the pinstripes. Okay, here's AJ on the hotline. AJ, sorry we took so long to get to you. What's up?
No, that's okay. I have an opinion. Can you guys hit me with the music?
Oh yeah, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
There we go. No, I was going to disagree with the interview you had earlier with Mitch. He said keeping your starting quarterback is not an important thing to do in the offseason. It should be our most important thing to do in the offseason is keeping your starting quarterback.
Well, I don't know that Mitch said it's not an important. He said it in the comparison to last year. It doesn't feel as like do or die if you don't have him going to next year. I think if I'm to sum up what he said, it's more of that.
Well, okay, that might be true, but if you look at our schedule next year, I mean, it is a brutal schedule. If we don't have a good quarterback, we're not going to win many games.
Yeah. But what makes you think that they can't have a good quarterback?
Well, I just don't think Latif is ready yet. I mean,
maybe it's not
Latif.
Latif.
Have any? Well, could be.
It could be. I don't know.
I hadn't thought of that either.
There's lots of options on the table, AJ. Lots of options.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
Okay.
Also, I'm not sure how old you guys are. You remember when Hy-Vee used to say in their ads, "A helpful smile in every aisle"?
Of course, yes. I wish they still did.
I haven't. Yeah, I wish they still did that.
Me too.
All right, thanks, guys. Happy Turkey Day.
Good take. You too. Thanks, AJ. Appreciate it.
There are many smiles in many aisles. Maybe not every aisle.
A helpful smile
in every aisle.
And then they change the song too.
Oh yeah, don't ever change the song.
Well, it was like when they changed it pays to cross the bridge to it pays to
cross the bridge.
But now it pays to make the drive.
Yeah. Did they get rid of the bridge or something?
I don't. You still have to cross the bridge to get to Edwards, whatever, right? I don't know. Post coffee, Post is roasting every morning. And then they kind of Remember it was, what was the first line of because we used to like the song a little bit better. It changed to proudly serving Nebraska since 1970. But it used to be something a little bit snappier, but it was more about Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to expand to like Nebraska.
I've already forgotten.
So I guess they did a good job. Mike Wright says, you just blew AJ's mind. I did. Did you ever think about that?
I actually hadn't thought of that as a possibility.
Third option. I
mean, get someone.
I think there's a lot of options on the table.
Name 3.
Perfect. I have exactly that many.
Okay.
Dylan Raiola, TJ Lateef, unnamed third option out of the transfer portal. Those are 3. You wanted me to name 3.
We make fun of people for what's behind door number 1, what's behind door number 2, what's behind door number 3.
Oh, you like door number 3.
The unknown door is interesting. I'm like, ooh.
You're not exactly infatuated with either of the first 2 doors.
It could be a player who is it could be a quarterback who's 300 pounds and doesn't have a right leg. And I'm like, ooh, but I don't know.
We love the unknown.
We do.
Hot Danger says, thank goodness for Nacho Typical Restaurant. Nacho Typical place.
Romeo's.
Travis says, I'll never forget to check the back seat. They ain't changing that. They tried to end it on us. We said, it's always important to remind the people to check the back seat.
Many people will say, it's not hot out. Why are you playing that?
Because it's still important to check the back seat. If it's really cold, then you also have problems there too.
It's also a siren song to the listeners. Hey, pay attention. The content you're here for is about to start.
Okay, so let's Oh yeah, and AJ mentioned the easy. I had a whole segment built around the easy schedule narrative.
Yeah, you hate the next year's schedule is going to be tough.
I do. Everybody does this. How do we not see this every year?
Well, I mean, when you're losing games to Minnesota and Penn State, aren't all the games hard?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yes, there are likely 3 playoff teams.
If you're
on next
not
year's...
as good, the schedule is harder. If you're not as good, the schedule is harder because everybody else is better. There's no differentiating factor with it next year. It's always going to be hard if you suck.
3 CFP teams is notable. I will grant you that.
3 CFP teams is notable if it is 3 CFP teams.
Oh, boy, it would be really embarrassing if it wasn't.
Well, I mean, Oregon's no lock.
I mean, they're the one, right?
Oregon's no lock.
Yeah.
But yes, well, I
3
suppose
potential CFP teams is notable.
But what if Michigan makes the playoff this year? We would put 1 playoff team this year.
Oh, they're not on next year's schedule.
They're not on next year's schedule. Was this year's schedule easy anymore if Michigan goes and makes the playoff?
Oh.
We do this. We do this at this exact moment every single year. They're like, boy, we better do this because have you seen next year's schedule? I think I will just probably stop watching football. They're probably going to go 0-12.
Whoa.
And then there's like next year's schedule is hard. And then there's the offshoot of what I just mentioned, which is this year's schedule was easy. So when people say, I hear people say, man, you had the easiest schedule of all time this year. It was the biggest missed opportunity in the world because you had the easiest schedule this year. And I get it to a certain extent. But I think what you're actually mad at is the fact that it doesn't look much better and Nebraska doesn't have an identity. And yes, if you have that, you should be able to win a couple more games than the ones that they've lost, but it ain't because of the damn schedule. All right? Nebraska should stop thinking about the schedule so much. Stop thinking about the schedule so much. You're too worried about the wrong things. Nebraska needs to get better as a football program, which means have an identity and understand what you are a little bit more, and the schedule part of it will work itself out. It will. And also, you look at the schedule next year, and I mean, we looked at the schedule this year and thought, oh man, that's pretty tough. I mean, there's some games in there. I don't know. I mean, UCLA might be pretty good. We kind of thought UCLA was gonna be pretty good. We thought Penn State was gonna be a bear. We thought Michigan and USC were gonna be tough. Like all that stuff. So we were looking at it last year. We're thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know. Like, are they gonna be able to get through all that? Okay. We can't beat Northwestern consistently. Michigan State, they might be pretty good with Childs. I don't know. Cincinnati, it's gonna be tough right out of the gate.
They got quarterbacks good.
Yeah, all that.
There
will inevitably be 2 to 3 teams on next year's schedule that just don't look as good as they do right now. Give me a break. Nobody even knows who's going to be on their roster next year.
That's true.
So the only thing you can do, the only way to approach it is just get better. It ain't about your schedule. It ain't about what the Big Ten's feeding you. Here you go, Nebraska. Take the hardest games ever because you had the easiest games ever this year. Don't be ridiculous. It does create unbalanced schedules in the league. There's no doubt about it. The fact that the league is too GD big.
Great take.
It's too big. I've been saying it for years. But my God, you guys are such worry warts. The schedule.
I used to, when I first started working with the Iowa Western football program, I used to get annoyed by how often they were like, yeah, we're just trying to go 1-0. And I'm like, come on, like this week's easy. Like, let's talk about next week. That's a more fun game. Nope, we're just trying to go 1-0. I totally get it now. Yep, let's just play our best. Let's work on us, and the rest will work itself out.
By the way, just got sent a tweet from someone's burner account. It says someone's burner account.
Oh, hi, someone's burner.
Said they've actually revived the slogan. I just got back. It's dangerous today, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Whoa,
right there in the bag. I just don't hear the jingle.
Yeah, bring the jingle back if you really want to wow some people. You want to get some butts in the seats.
There goes some Iowa State fans on television. Where's the Iowa State lady who tried to get John's autograph yesterday?
Big celeb John Bishop.
John, so
whoa, Syracuse.
That lady interrupted our interview with Frank Caliendo to talk to John. And then another person, after when we were walking out, came up to us and said, "Are you the viral Creighton announcer?" And John said, "Yes." And it was like a dad and a daughter. And the dad was like, "Do you want to get a picture with the viral Creighton announcer?" to the daughter. And she was like, "Yep, yes, I do." And so John took a picture as the viral Creighton announcer.
Hey, here's a world famous comedian who's been on every show you can think of.
Best thing. It's the best. I had the best day ever yesterday. It's so good.
And Frank's, he seems like a cool guy. Like it
he's
doesn't
so
bother him
low-key.
at all. Doesn't bother him at all.
Low-key.
Yeah, no, go take a picture with John. It's fine.
He's so low key. It's amazing. What a great friendship we have started. It started with you, Josh.
That's right.
And now he has many friends.
I've introduced him to everyone around here. It's great.
January 23rd and 24th, by the way.
Omaha.funnybone.com.
Mm-hmm. I think John's gonna be a part of his stand-up when he comes here.
Whoa.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if anybody would get the reference by that time.
Yeah.
But I think you got to include him. He did the John and Frank were cutting promos for Funny Bone yesterday.
Horse crap.
All right, we're back. Let's grunt the slate. Why not? Next on 1620 The Zone.
You made me do this. This is on you, producer Josh.
The Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Grunt the Slate, Grunt the Slate, Grunt the Slate. I'm gonna grunt the Slate, grunt the Slate. Gonna grunt the Slate. Grunt the Slate, grunt the Slate. Grunt the Slate. Grunt the Slate.
It's time! Are we grunting the players era consolation bracket slate, Josh? The players era ruined college basketball.
Creighton's 0-2.
No, I think we'll stick to the NFL.
Good, because I have no idea who plays on Sunday.
Me neither.
I got Thursday and Friday down.
I didn't know about the Friday situation. I didn't know about Friday. So let's do it. We begin Turkey Day tomorrow. So you'll be split screening this game with Creighton and Oregon.
I believe Joey is happy that this is happening this way.
Yeah. So it is Packers-Lions.
He's a little out on the Packers right now.
Packers-Lions.
Ooh.
What if I told you that these two teams were both mid?
I would agree, but I think the loser of their fan base is going to be in shambles.
Somebody has to win this division. And in all likelihood, it's going to be one of these two teams because I'm just not a Bears believer. I'm not a Bears lever. But I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel great about either of these teams right now, which does heighten the importance a little bit. So I'm with you. Ooh, Chiefs and Cowboys. No, I mean this is like another do or die game, right?
The playoffs have begun for the Chiefs, and regardless of your opinion on the Chiefs and the Cowboys, it's interesting. It's an interesting narrative that the playoffs have begun for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And it's the Chiefs and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's the two biggest brands possible in the NFL right now.
They're trying
playing
to
on
set a record.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's this is right after lunch tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to pop a number. Everybody's going to get to hear Tony Romo.
Jim, I've been right there. I've been right there. I've done it.
It's so bad now.
Yeah.
Night game is Bengals Ravens. Well, was that better than the Chiefs Cowboys game?
See, it was two shorts. Kansas City Dallas was one long.
So what's that equal?
You decide. Joe Burrow's back, baby.
Two shorts feels better than one long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Whoa. I'm not sure about that. Friday, Bears Eagles on Prime.
I feel like I'm supposed to do a mega grunt here, but
I don't. No.
I'm going.
You really don't have to.
Because let me tell you, we've been on this kick, and ever since we said it out loud, it's gotten worse.
The
Eagles are an insufferable watch. They're a great football team. They're an insufferable watch.
And the Bears are too.
Yeah. They're going to get down. It's going to be exactly like the Dallas game over the weekend. The Bears are probably going to get down 3 touchdowns. They're going to meander their way back into the game, and it'll be close in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, probably. By the way, I was going to text you this. When I was watching School of Rock, I heard some good potential grunts that we could throw into the mix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. I would love to.
I can't remember what they were. Yeah, because he was
add more or mix them up.
He was teaching all the kids how to play their instruments, and remember when he got Zach Mooneyham, the guitarist, and he was like, "Can you do this?" And then he plays it, right? There's some good grunts in there from Jack Black if you're interested in grabbing a couple more.
I am.
Sunday. We begin with 49ers Browns. Really? Nothing involving the Browns could be good.
Can Shedeur throw another couple darts at home? Will he say anything wildly out of pocket after the game again?
Did he do that?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, like, oh, a lot of these veteran quarterbacks, their time's over.
Whoa.
Like he was.
Are you sure?
Someone put a microphone in front of him after the game, and he was like, yeah, I have arrived. Like, it's Shedeur time. Like,
okay. You beat the Raiders, bro.
Yes.
Jags, Titans. Texans, Colts. What? This is one of the best games so far.
The Texans are in another team that's an insufferable watch.
Yeah, a lot of defense.
Mm-hmm.
Not interested in the Colts?
No.
They're 8-3.
I think we all know what's going to happen to the Colts. Okay?
They're going to lose the first round, but it's okay. You could do that. That's allowed.
Oh, that's way above expectations for the Colts preseason.
Saints, Dolphins.
Ew.
Woof. That's worse than the Jags Titans.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Wait, we have another challenger that has entered the ring.
I'm sorry.
Falcons, Jets.
Yikes.
Excuse me. Hello. Yes. Which game is worse? Is it Falcons, Jets, Saints, Dolphins, or Jags, Titans? All of them. This one's at least like it has a semi-respectable team in it. Cardinals, Buccaneers. Bucks are not a fun watch right now.
Just what could have been if both of these teams had played up to snuff or something like that.
Rams, Panthers. Whoa, that's the best grunt of the week so far. Rams, Panthers. The best team in the NFL at the Panthers.
Here's how you can tell I really don't look at these games ahead of time. I feel I've wasted my opportunity to use good grunts, and now I'm like, okay, I gotta.
You just go with what you feel, man.
Yeah.
Go with what you feel. Vikings, Seahawks is at 3.
Okay.
Sam Darnold revenge game.
Yeah.
325 Bills, Steelers. Raiders, Chargers.
Pass.
Broncos, Commanders is the Sunday night game. From Landover, Maryland.
God.
This game will be 17-13.
No.
And Monday, December 1st.
Whoa.
Giants, Patriots. No. Nope. Not a very good slate. Not a very good slate, Josh.
Boy, they don't care about your weekend, do they?
Thursday's fine. Yeah, Sunday got ripped off because they played all the good games on Thursday. And then they also decided to put the dumpiest games possible this week. I mean, those 3 games were awful. Awful. Jags, Titans, Saints, Dolphins, Falcons, Jets. That's as bad of a 3 games as you've had this year on one weekend in the NFL.
7 games in the noon window. Rams, Panthers is by far the best. Well, no, I take that back. Houston, Indy is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
That's probably more interesting. I'm sorry.
What?
I just like watching the Rams play right now.
As we always say, they'll make it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Something will happen.
Always does.
All right, Matt Rule has spoken. He's commented on Rumor Gate. He's CBS Sports Gate. So there's that. We'll make picks. We'll have Josh's thing, hype speech.
I think.
Tiny baby history lesson. We got a lot to do in the next 15 minutes.
Do it.
Back after this on 1620. This is out.
He gives you the latest sports news, interviews, and life-changing commentary with a smile on his face. Because he wears those ticklish underpants.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Matt Rule. He was asked, I haven't heard the audio yet, so I don't have any context other than just the literal words that were spoken in print form. He was asked about some reports. Popcorn. It's the flaky stuff, Josh. This isn't isn't the good stuff.
This isn't
the good stuff.
There's a lot of flaky kernels in there.
So he's asked about this CBS Sports report. I don't know if it was specifically mentioned that it was a CBS Sports report or whatever. Quote from Rule, I haven't seen that report. I don't know anything about that. I would never get up here and talk about a player. I love Dylan like I love all my guys. He's in there for treatment right now, so I don't know about that. I just thought I'd pass along the quote. It doesn't mean anything.
Or does it mean everything,
No,
Connor?
it doesn't.
He didn't say no.
It doesn't.
He didn't say no.
It absolutely doesn't mean anything. People are like, oh, he gone. He got. Well, if he was going to be gone, he gone. You know, he gone anyway. Rule would never say anything about this. Why? I mean, I get why it's asked. You kind of like, maybe it's just one of those things where you kind of have to.
I think so.
About these, but remember, the report wasn't he's leaving. The report was Nebraska is bracing for the potential that he could leave, which should be everyone, everywhere, for everything.
That's their cover.
Obviously, we have yeah, exactly. So he will just say, yeah, I mean, we love all our guys, and that's my story. He's getting some treatment. He's trying to fix his broken leg.
He's healing up on our dime.
Texter says, you just sounded like your dad coughing on that popcorn. Yeah.
Well, he is a dad.
My dad, like Steve Sipple, or like my dad?
Oh, okay. I hadn't thought about that.
Same thing, I'm sure. Same thing. By the way, Matt Rule has definitely seen the report.
He said he hadn't.
He has. He has seen the CBS Sports article.
Many times he has reports before.
That's right. I wonder if it was reached for comment on this particular report. All right, tiny baby history lesson here.
Okay.
Just to give you this context on Nebraska, Iowa. Nebraska 30-22-3 all time against Iowa. The gap is closing, Josh.
They did rapidly.
I remember a time where it wasn't that close. They first met in 1891. We're not going to have anything from 1940s man or anything like that today. But their first meeting was in 1891. They then met 10 times over 9 seasons after that. That's right, Josh. 10 times over 9 seasons. Mm-hmm. They played twice in a 3-day span.
Whoa.
The first of which, of those 2 games, being on this exact day 129 years ago. And then they played each other 128 days and 363 days. We're in 28 years and 363 days ago. They played twice in 3 days. Awesome.
Those soft NFL players complain about, oh my gosh, we got to play on Thursday.
I couldn't figure out why that much because I wasn't that committed to figuring it out. But the first game was a tie, a 0-0 tie.
Oh, so you got to break the tie.
And so maybe they just ran it back and were like, all right. But they tied also 2 other times. So I don't know. But the point here is I would like to draw awareness to this.
Okay.
This rivalry has been dictated in large part. They've only met 55 times. 55 times. 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 times of Nebraska and Iowa so far. And it's been about long stretches of dominance that now have exchanged through both sides. So Nebraska won 9 out of 10 meetings from 1903 to 1917. The other one that they didn't win out of that was a tie. Nebraska won eight in a row from 1931 to 1941. And then the Iowa wins are kind of just sporadic in there. But as of this moment, Iowa has won 9 out of the last 10, including 10 out of the last 12. So if Iowa wins on Friday, it would really be the longest stretch of consistent dominance throughout the history of this series from either side.
Whoa.
So if Nebraska, whatever your motivation is, if Nebraska considered themselves a fancy-pantsy program who couldn't lose to Iowa, we dominate you, take a look at the scoreboard, whatever. Iowa really with a win on Friday, which would make it 10 out of 11 and 11 out of 13 in the series, could say, yeah, but no one team has more dominance over a sustained, a period of time than we're in right now. So it's on the line. It's a lot on the line, John.
That should be enough.
I think a lot of things should be enough, but I don't know. I'm trying to make you guys motivated in any way.
Just a man.
Any way you can. Any way you can. J-Man says Happer sounded like George W. Bush versus the pretzel. Did he choke on a pretzel once?
Yeah.
Is that pretty famous?
I
don't remember. Poll question, do you remember George W. Bush choking on a pretzel?
Yeah, we need a poll question.
Put that one up there. I really liked Frank's George W. Bush yesterday.
Very good. I forgot he could really nail one of those.
I know. I'm starting to see more of George W. Bush these days, and I'm starting to like it.
The audio of his Trump, I
seriously
couldn't
I mean,
tell
that
the
was
difference.
really, really good.
It might be his best. Hot take.
And he had the face on too.
Yeah.
And then the Iowa State lady came out of nowhere. What's going on here? Are you the viral Creighton announcer? Awesome. So we don't have any key fobs for the game. We'll make our picks in a second. Can you indulge me for a few minutes here while I ask some questions about Creighton basketball?
Ask them to me?
Well, you
or just aloud?
Or the general public.
The general. Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, so are you, this one I'm asking to you, are you on team trust the process? Because you'll hear different things from Creighton fans. They'll say, nah, man, just look at us last year, right at this time. Look at it 2 years ago around this time. 2 years ago, I didn't think Stephen Ashworth could play, period. I thought he should go back. He should go to wherever he came from, Utah State for the record. And just no way it was ever going to work. No way it was ever going to work. And look at them. Look at what happened after that. They went to the Sweet 16, and then last year they won a game in the NCAA tournament. And so I hear just trust it. Just trust it blindly. And I guess it wouldn't be blindly because there is a lot of precedent for it at this point to say it is going to work out. However, I see some other folks who are like, this team just don't have it. They don't have it. And it feels wrong, and they're not going to get it, and they don't have anything that they can lean on. And that, who knows? Are they a good 3-point shooting team? Do they have a star? Do they have chemistry? What do they have to lean on at this moment? But I guess we're not even really talking about this moment. We're talking about the future moments. So I ask again, are you on team trust the process or team this team just doesn't have it?
They have not been 500 or worse 6 games into the season since 2009.
Well, yeah, but extended out. I mean, they were 6-6 2 years ago.
I am rapidly more and more concerned that there just isn't a dog on this team. Someone to say, we need a bucket right now. You're the guy who can get us that bucket.
So I think you need either that or a clear identity. Mm-hmm. So people making comps to the 14-15 team, they knew what they were doing. I mean, they didn't have any talent. Sorry. I apologize to Isaiah Zierden and Will Artino, but they wasn't quite there. Mm-hmm. Wasn't quite Big East ready yet, but they at least knew what they were supposed to be doing. They've been in the program for several years, sitting behind Doug and all those guys. And we knew what they were going to try to do. They went 500 that year, it was under 500 that year, and never figured it out really. But figured out the thing was, well, we're just probably not good enough. We're not good enough this year, but they knew what they were doing. So I could see how it would be a more pleasurable watch, I suppose. So my question with this team is, and I think the rub a little bit is, okay, like you just said, Josh, they don't have anybody that they can really lean on at the moment to just say, go get a bucket. They're not connected because that takes time. That's the part where you trust the process. It takes time. It takes time. That's for the connectivity part of things. And I think point guard play, that factors into it too. But they don't really have an identity. I think they're stuck in between, what I would like to see, a potential answer is you just go mega tempo, pace, and hopefully you could shoot the three well enough, get out in transition, because they look okay when they're out in transition, but there's some problems with that as well. But mostly doing the math in my head, I just don't think there's enough defensively there where you're going to be able to break even in the half courts.
Yes,
I just don't think there's enough there defensively. I definitely don't want to see Jason playing a drop five. Jason Green is not Ryan Kalkbrenner, right? But I figured, they were doing that yesterday, and Jason's sitting back there. I'm like, Jason's drop coverage right now. And then I thought, why is that happening? He's not a rim protector. And then I thought, well, somebody's got to be sitting back there because those guards on the perimeter are just going to get blown by. And then they take easy, uncontested 2-pointers over a 6'8" guy instead of a 7'2" guy. And it looks a little bit different. They make them more often, it turns out. And so that's tricky. Maybe they think they can't shoot it well enough, or they would be too reckless in transition. I think they're both valid concerns. Maybe they don't think they have the point guard to be able to push the pace enough. A valid concern at this point.
It hasn't looked quite right in the bye games.
You just need to they need to find one, the start of an answer, because I was going through all these things yesterday with some people, and it all just kept working itself around in a circle. And there was no stopping point. It was like, yeah, you can't do this because you don't have this. You can't do that because you don't have this. You can't do this because you don't have that. So it just worked itself around in a circle. And so they need to find something Ty Davis played for Graves a lot yesterday because Ty moves, and he moves both with the ball and without the ball. So, maybe you'll see more of that going forward while Graves kind of figures it out. I think Graves will get there because he's crafty enough, but there's no doubt about it. The ball gets really sticky and then I think he's really frustrated right now. He is so frustrated right now. He's swimming in it, both from a learning perspective and from a basketball perspective. He's not shooting it well. He's made only 3 threes the whole year, I think. And one of them was the end of half against Baylor 2 days ago.
They're just a step slow.
They're a step slow.
A step indecisive, and it's not figuratively, literally a step, a half a second too slow.
That's the part that'll get better. That's the part that'll get better. I have no doubt about that. But I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are.
It really makes K-State like a must-win game, because you gotta have something on your resume. You can't have all these L's on your resume against out of conference power teams.
So Debo says, this is Debo, right? Yeah. It starts at the point. It does. It starts at the point guard spot. It does. There's no way around that. I mean, there's no way around to get. There's no way around to get nothing from Nick. So they're throwing out different lineups, where you put in Ty and you have him be a guy who kind of just runs around, but somebody else is going to have to operate with the basketball. Who is that? Is it Dix? Is it Fedor? Right? So it kind of all your the issues don't all stem from there, because there's stuff they could be doing, but it doesn't go much further than that. You can't advance it if you don't have a confident playmaking point guard. You just got to have it. Maybe you just run sets. I don't know. Do they have enough sets in where they could just live that way in the half court? Or do they want to get out and go? I I don't know. But there's enough data points now to at least figure out, okay, what do we have to be? What's the best version of us? And I just don't know if they've picked a lane on that yet. One phone call here from Nathan on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Nathan, what's up?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
Good.
I just wanted to chime in on the Creighton topic while you're on it. I would lean on the side of being nervous and thinking this team does not have it, because I've been watching Creighton basketball for as long as I've been watching TV, 20 plus years, or 25 plus years. I'm nervous about the team this year and going forward, because I feel like Dana Altman handed over the program at a good time. You know, McDermott came in and didn't really have to build anything, just had to maintain, and did a great job. We do not have any dogs on this team. I feel like usually we have multiple guys that are good. You know, we don't have somebody that's going to get you the points like you were saying. So I fear that this season's not going to get better from what I've seen if we can't rebound on defensive end and we don't have stars on our team. That it could even extend farther than this year, because if McDermott's already saying he's maybe 1 to 3 years from hanging it up, and we've already got our next coach in line, if we continue to plummet and not be the let it fly Jays that are going to consistently make March and do well in March, then I fear we're not going to get the recruits. We're not going to get the people that want to come to Creighton, and they're going to hand it off to another coach, and he's just not going to have that stability. And we might have a few rough years to come for Blue Jay basketball. So I don't know your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Nathan. Appreciate it. I've heard that sentiment a lot. Like there was a Devo said, I'm spiraling. Like what Nathan just said, it sounds like he's spiraling a little bit, right? Like, well, if this doesn't work out, does Mac leave, and does everybody leave, and does, like what happens if this doesn't work? Right. Like that's what everybody's kind of saying. Mac and his staff like definitely deserve the benefit of the doubt to for the time being. The Big East is not good this year. It does not appear. So you kind of it would be funny if they went 12-8 in the league, ended up as the 5 seed and won it.
That's how they
and they finally won the Big East tournament or something like that. I still think. So to be clear, I guess I'm on team trust the process. But it's bumpy.
TikTok, man.
It's bumpy. But is it TikTok, right? That's the thing. Like if you just may not have the ability to put together a resume that is at large worthy. If you're thinking about the tournament,
yeah,
that's why you would say TikTok, right?
Yeah, right.
Because if not, then everything the Big East might be like a 2-bid league,
It's so weird that tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and you're saying to yourself, "Gosh, I don't know if mathematically they can get in."
I don't know. Yeah, life comes at you fast, I guess.
Yeah.
I do think that team, though, they need to feel something good. They need to see one go in. They need to get rewarded a little bit. But it doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy tomorrow, that's for sure. Or against Nebraska, or against Kansas State, or against anybody in the Big East. All right, our picks for the weekend. Josh's hyped speech coming up after this on 1620 The Zone. Sam wrote in, by the way, on Twitter.
Hi, Sam.
This team can be smoked, but you could still see a scenario where they're fine next year with Greer, Freeman, and McAndrew. Hudson Greer, you got something there. That dude's already cooking.
Definitely.
He's got that thing too, you know. He's kind of one of the killers. By the way, speaking of killers, I saw. I always thought that this is like the bright shining example of Creighton basketball dudes who were just were that dude, Marcus Zagorowski. Marcus Zagorowski walking around the casino in an Alabama shirt because he's a GA for Alabama was among the most startling things I've ever seen. So odd.
Life comes at you fast.
It does. It does. Sometimes you're a GA for your biggest rival. All right, to the picks. I have an update for you, Josh.
Oh, no. I don't like where this is going.
I have stormed back to take the lead in picks going into, I think it's final week.
I would think so.
Maybe we'll do conference championship games, depending on how it goes. If I win, it's over. Stop the count. I won 4 out of 6 last week. Ooh. You lost 4 out of 6 last week. I am up by a game.
One game.
On the season-long standings, 35-42, or 35-42. Excuse me, you were 34 and 43. So, here we go. Number 4, Georgia, is quote-unquote on the road at number 23, Georgia Tech, who's a 13.5-point underdog, 2:30 on Friday on ABC. Do you know what happened with this game? So this would have been the biggest game at Bobby Dodd Stadium's history. It would have been a pro Georgia Tech crowd. It would have been awesome, but they sold the game to the Mercedes-Benz Dome for $10 million. And now it's going to be all Georgia fans because it's Atlanta and it's not a small stadium and it's not tiny little Bobby Dodd Stadium on the campus of Georgia Tech. So they sold what would have been the greatest atmosphere at home in years for $10 million, and they're going to get completely outnumbered from a fan perspective. Knowing that, I'm still taking Georgia Tech to cover the 13.5.
Heinz Kang.
Yeah, one more for the road, baby.
Last 2 games in clean old-fashioned hate have covered this spread. Give me Haynes Kang to
one more time.
Cover one more
time. Number 3, Texas A&M is at number 16, Texas, who is just a 2.5-point underdog. 6:30 Black Friday ABC.
So all year we've waited for A&M to A&M, and this is the year. This is the game I'm going to finally decide. Maybe they're not going to A&M, and I will pick the Aggies here, knowing full well that they probably will A&M here.
I agree with you. I agree with every word you just said.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to be
believe,
wrong,
but like I'm ready to.
I agree.
Okay, maybe Texas A&M should be taken seriously.
I agree with every word you just said. Marcel Reed is like sort of a wild card, dynamic, awesome player, but I never know what he's doing sometimes. But yeah, I let's just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just roll the dice out there on Texas A&M. Texas goes 8-4 this year, by the way. Tough. Number 1, Ohio State. At number 18, Michigan, who is a 10.5-point underdog. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, and the All-American girl, Jenny Taft, Saturday, big noon Fox. This could get really, really dicey if Michigan pulls the upset. And I'm taking the Wolverines to cover. I have no opinion on whether they will win or not. 10.5 just seems astronomical to me.
A ridiculous
astronomical number.
Home dog for a team that has beaten the other team 4 years in a row. Give me the Wolverines here.
I think so. I mean, it almost seems too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Ohio State win like 42-13 or something like that. But like, I mean, I can't say no to that.
Yeah, on the front end, it makes perfect sense to pick Michigan.
Number 12, Miami, who they keep putting as the ACC's highest team because they're the highest ranked ACC team, although they have a pretty small chance to make the ACC title game. Therefore, they will not make the playoffs unless they are an at-large, which there's really no scenario where that happens. So it's all very confusing.
All the things we're talking about in the CFP, and this is actually the most, not important one, but like
it's a consequential one.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Not being talked about.
At Pittsburgh. Three straight weeks of Pittsburgh on this show. They're a 6.5-point underdog at home Saturday at 11 on ABC.
Canes need to prove something to the computers and the pollsters.
Damn, we are agreeing too much.
They running it up on the Panthers.
Sorry, what's his name? Narduzzi's going to have to go on the car podcast.
I apologize for that performance on Saturday.
Number 10, Alabama, is at number nothing, Auburn, in the Iron Bowl. 5.5 points is the separation in favor of Alabama. 6.5 or 6:30 on Saturday on ABC. So 5.5. Sorry, if that was unclear.
Is this me? This is me?
It's me. Okay. I'm just pausing for effect.
Oh, wow. It was very dramatic.
Look at all these home underdogs. Look at them all. Look at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Texas. I'm not taking them. But give me the rest of them, baby. Give me Auburn to cover the 5.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was a little worried that you would have clinched picks.
Well,
in this segment here.
Well,
because I'm taking the Tide.
All right.
This is a
Do so at your own risk.
This is a death march for Auburn.
And we finish Black Friday in Lincoln on it will be on CBS. Right. It will feature Rich Waltz and Ross Tucker.
Whom?
Iowa at Nebraska, who is a 6.5-point underdog on Black Friday. Josh, get us hype.
Rivalries. It's the last weekend of the season where you hook it up against your blood rival. This bit isn't necessary. And if it is, we got bigger problems. I shouldn't have to motivate you to get up for this. This game should fuel you for the next 364 days. It's a game so simple, we don't even call it by the cute corporate title thrusted upon it.
No.
We just call it Iowa. It's Iowa week.
What?
It's Black Friday.
What?
The Border War.
What?
The Corn Bowl.
What?
Cornography.
What?
Call it the Heroes Game. Because we need a hero Friday in Lincoln. Scars have won just one of these damn games in the last decade. And quite frankly, I'm a little sick of it. If you don't want this, if you don't need this dub like you need air, then get the out of the locker room, because we don't want you. This one ain't about respect. Nah, far from it. Friday at the Old Gray Lady, I need the nastiest fans in the country walking through those gates. Lay off the tryptophan at your mama's house tomorrow, because we need you up. Like my man Carl Fredrickson. Tie some balloons to your ass if you have to. No excuses. I don't want to hear that you were sleepy. I don't want to hear that it was chilly. The adrenaline needs to be coursing through your veins. Have you out there looking like Bane on Friday? Season riding on the next 60 minutes. Good year if you win, but if you lose, it's an off season of hand-wringing and whining.
But I thought it was the third year of Matt Rule. But I thought the schedule was so easy.
If you're talking like that this week, I need you to drive to the mall. Find the Santa display. Wait in line. Wait your turn. Don't cut anybody. When the time comes, sit your broke ass on Santa's lap. Smile for the elf taking the picture. look old St. Nick in his beady little eyes and ask Kris Kringle for a spine because you're soft. Nebraska 21, Iowa 17. Secondary with a pick to ice the game. Become a hero. Hey, Hawkeyes, wave bye-bye to your season, biatch.
Biatch.
There's kids in the car. They're not in school right now.
All right. What was the score of the game last year?
I don't know. A field goal?
13-10.
Ah.
What was the score of the game 2 years ago?
13-10?
Mm-hmm.
What's your score prediction, Connor?
13-10.
Oh! Who's winning?
13-10 Iowa.
Iowa?
Yeah, 13-10 Iowa. Yeah. 3 straight 13-10 losses.
Pain.
3 straight 13-10 losses. Uh-huh.
Oh.
I can't do it. I can't pick them to win. I can't. Come on.
I have to.
I can't pick them to win.
You picked them to cover?
I picked them to cover. There you go. GBR. All right, we're back with the polls. We'll tell you what to watch after this on 1620 The Zone.
After further review, the host is deemed to be out of bounds. The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
You don't have to wait for the weekend to enjoy brunch. Early Bird serves delicious breakfast and lunch every day at 5 convenient locations like the Blackstone District, Shadow Lake Town Center, Regency Landing, West Omaha, and Village Point. Enjoy Benedict's, omelets, pancake flights, and a full menu of breakfast cocktails. This holiday season, give the gift of brunch. Buy $100 in gift cards and get $25 free. Download the Early Bird Brunch app. Early Bird, not your everyday brunch, every day.
We have but one poll question today.
A singular poll.
So let's replace them with some thanks.
Oh.
One poll question and other thanks. First, thank you from Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Please say thank you to Odson for his hype speeches. He has a true talent, and I enjoy them each week. Nebraska 20, Iowa 17, GBR. Drew. Awesome.
A true talent for that specific skill.
Nick in St. Louis.
Hi, Nick. Say hi to the mayor.
Great hype speech. He was wondering if you said a bad word, but I don't think you did.
I bleeped it.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. But
Blocked foul.
Also, our thanks to you. Thank you all. We are happy and thrilled that for whatever godforsaken reason, you give us the permission to be idiots every single day on this show. I think sometimes when people with real jobs and they're listening into their cubicles, like you don't listen to this show. This is the most lowbrow comedy show that you've ever heard in your life. And for some reason they do, because I think they appreciate our genuineness. With
a real article.
If that's a word.
My wife
Josh
plays Grunt the Slate in the teacher's lounge every week and exclaims to her coworkers, "We picked the wrong profession. My husband just makes sounds into the microphone."
She did it in the Will Compton voice. "We picked the wrong profession." She did it with the bells in the background and that entire
Went to school for 7 years.
Didn't learn crap. She might have. But thank you, everybody, on this pre-day of thanks. Enjoy your weekends. From the bottom of our heart, we love being here. It's great. It's fun. It's easy. And yes, I think we pick the right profession oftentimes.
I like it. It's fun.
One poll question. Do you remember George W. Bush choking on that pretzel? See? No.
People forget.
56% say no.
Oh, wow.
What are we watching, Josh? We have 5 days of what to watch.
I'm just doing today, or we'd be here until 6 o'clock.
It's the Players Era.
That's right. There's a lot of that. We'll get to that. But coming up in a couple of hours, the first place Detroit Pistons looking to win their 14th game in a row.
Stop saying that.
Go to the, I don't know, this is an NBA Cup game, so it's not a parquet floor. It's a green floor in Boston to take on the Celtics. 4 o'clock on ESPN. It's part of a triple header that includes a Western Conference Finals rematch between the Wolves and the Thunder, 6:30 on ESPN, and a nightcap of Rockets Warriors at 9. Kevin Durant's return to Golden State.
Oh, how many more teams could he possibly return to?
That's 9 o'clock on ESPN. College basketball, Omaha and FIU going at it right now on 1290 Coil. USC Arizona State going on right now in the Maui Gym Maui. Notre Dame, Houston, 2:30 TNT. That's part of the Players Era Festival, as well as Kansas, Tennessee at 6 o'clock tonight on TNT. 7 o'clock on True TV. It's number 14 St. John's, number 21 Auburn. And the banger tonight, 8:30 TNT, the Players Era Championship, number 12 Gonzaga against number 7 Michigan. I'm going to watch that.
Big man, Graham Ike.
There's also a women's Players Era Festival.
There is. I became aware of this when I got there, and I saw some signs. I was like, who are those ladies?
Right now on True TV, those ladies are number 4 Texas and number 3 UCLA.
Yeah, it's like Lauren Betts is up in here?
Tonight, it's Duke and number 2 South Carolina. I guess not tonight, 3:30 on True TV. Creighton women, they play at UNLV, so they are also in Vegas, but a different part of Vegas for different reasons. They're at the Mack Center,
Thomas and Mack, yep.
4 o'clock. You can hear that one on 1180. Every team in the league playing.
1180 the Santa Baby with Glenn Sisk. Thank you very much.
That's right. Get it right. Put some respect on it. Wild Blackhawks tonight, 7:30 on Hulu. The Beatles Anthology premieres on Disney Plus today. Listen up, Josh Peterson. Restored and remastered, the classic music docuseries rolls out over 3 days and is now capped by a never-before-seen 9th installment featuring Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr as they come together between 1994 and 1995 to reflect on their shared life as the Beatles.
Is this unreleased?
Yeah, an unreleased 9th part of a docuseries that already came out.
30 years old?
Remastered, yes, apparently.
We love television.
And finally, for the first time in 1,244 days, new episodes of Stranger Things are available to you. They're all 2 hours long or something like that. No, thank you. Those children are adults. They can get out of the situation by themselves.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
What a great message for everyone. Enjoy the Players Era tonight. I know I will. I love the Players Era.
Creighton plays tomorrow, 1 o'clock tip, 12:30 pregame, right here on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
That's it for us today. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Let's do a crossover coming up next.